Test the mic, test the mic. Test the mic. Test the mic. Test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Good evening, folks. We want to welcome all our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I'm your host and presenter, Alfonso Zen. So right here, I'm the Diaspora Informative News Outlet. Oh, making an announcement, my goodness. What is she talking about? It's one game we decided to give it to the people out of a respect for the president of the Republic of Liberia. And Koto Jala making an announcement here this evening about the game. Please. Try to be respectful to the president, taking the old man the feed during this hard weather. So we beat that game. Anything could happen. They say, oh, the crown, the Korean, the Gemma again. So we decided to win the game. So I know this like of Sisi, Dr. Mali, who else again? Koto Jala. It's all year, whole day they're going to go with this, whole year. But we'll try to draw that line of reasoning. After two consecutive times, when for final, the grand finale, and they were flogged, and we decided to put on the hemo cap. Take the papier on the feet, the hard weather today. And considering all the humanitarian circumstances and the possible backlash, to see the sitting president team being whipped, put on our hemo shoe and say, okay, let's give it to these people. Now, what Koto want to be making an announcement here? We could have bust that toboggan part today on our SKD Sport Complex. And we decided not to do it. Because we are traditionalists. Putting the old man in our son, we just felt, well, let's give this. And those guys were so, they saw that line of reasonings, and we gave it to Olofa. After 2 times, they went to the grand finale, and nothing could happen. I want to keep people blood pressure up. And so I want to do it so we can ask LFA so we can replay this game, organize and see who be who. Oh my goodness, soccer. Okay, we say congratulations to the Lofa soccer squad. It was a very exciting movement today. That's one of the things that unifies people, and that's the game of soccer. It doesn't have that sort of boundaries. I mean, people come together. It doesn't matter which side you fall on in the politics, but you have a very great time. That was the situation today. Lofa put out a good fight. Yeah, we have wanted to celebrate. We had planned to do it. Man proposed, God disposed it, and that's exactly what happened today. I wanted to bring Sisi Goyo here. I wanted to bring Koto Jala here. I wanted to bring Dr. Mali here, all of the Lofians. I said, one of my old-time schoolmates, the guys, long time we don't even never talk. Send me a message today, right after the game. It's just so hard again. I'm trying to watch it, trying to me. He was teasing me. His action was deliberate. He knows very well he was watching again, and he asked him, and that's a complete provocation. How is the game? How the game in there? Oh, that's what you want to do, right? Anyway, we will live on and fight another good fight, and I'm quite sure how far. By next year, by the time of the grace of God, the tournament will be on again. So all the Lothians, the Tamba, the Sa, the Gisi, the Fire, Chinchan Cholo, congratulations to all of you. We say your thank you. You take the cup. We feel sorry for you, your boy, Papi, in our house on. We're going to be there again and we the bad people. You talk to us and we decided to say, okay, we'll play the softball. So they want to come back to us now. So congratulations, yeah. Next year, we'll meet at someone's kind of sports complex. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. We say thank you so much for joining us this evening. Yeah, the game was very, very, very much. It was interesting. I think all of the teams they did well. We're going to take into consideration the preparations of all of these teams. Some teams literally wore out the camp because of support. Us as a Liberian, we like this sort of crisis management. It is a traditional tournament every year, literally a year. If it's not the same day, but I believe the same month, or just within the same proximity. Like every year, there will be a national sports meet of all of the sub-political division of the countries. And that's another way of bringing people together to spot new faces, new talents for the national team, and even to the outside world. So it's a playing year. So there's no need that these counties, everybody, somehow, some way, do receive national fundings. And there should be some allocation there for them to prepare the soccer team, both the, I believe they're doing what, football, kickball, basketball. I don't know what else swimming or other than that. They're supposed to be having an eating contest and all of that. To see and swallowing and all of that, but I don't want to bring the swallowing contest. Nima will carry that one because they love swallowing. But maybe that day and Grand Basso will go for the final in that one. That is okay. They need to bring that swallowing contest as well. But I think in order to make an adequate preparation as a team, as an organization, at least maximum 6 months ahead of the time, you begin to to do, start the little preparations that will lead you to qualify you to go even to the quarterfinal, to go to the city center to contest. But we found out most of the teams, they were struggling. Last minute time, ordinary citizens, their own people start raising money to prepare them and all of that. That itself is challenging because these people, remember, they also have their, not because they're playing football, but they have their family as well. So before they leave, even the city, their urban Liberia, say leaving Grand Gide, leaving Grand Basso, Riverses, you need to make some good settlement in terms of having them properly prepared so that we move to the city center because they're going to be there for like a couple of weeks. But if that is not done, and you want player to protest, to sort of have a sort of protestation before that, they can even be able to go ahead with the game. That is, it does have a psychological impact because then actual preparation is not being done. The basic needs of these people must be addressed. But overall, we feel sorry for the old man today. The old man was on our feet, the way he dressed with all the scarf and this and that. I saw on his coat, the loafer Jesse was there. But he put red and white blue cap over it. They were going to beat them. And they said, oh. But he put a green clothes Jesse on his coat. They wear red and white cap, red and white scarf. A nationalist now, so father of all nations, right? But we know that green will honor that, it will honor that soda. But we decided to be very respectful. We are traditionals, the Grenadians are traditionalist people. So seeing the old man coming in that sort of very hot sun, beating Lofa, that would be a devastation. So we decided to give it to them. Now, whole day, my Lofian's friend, they're not calling. You watch the game trying to provoke me. How the game ended? The game have started. You carry the cup. You get a president. You carry the cup. You get a finance ministry. You carry the cup. You get LRA. You carry the cup. You get defense. You carry the cup. But next year, we're going to have a great time. I think the momentum in the counter meet, it was quite exciting. I hope our team of analysts are going to come for us to talk about the implications. We have heard, I've not seen any officials unconfirmed, like either one day, but I have not seen that. I have a couple of people talk to other people inside Liberia. Some of them were at the field, some of them, and that's what they're reporting. And we saw the images, how people been rolled out and all of that today. That is quite interesting. So my Lofa man is here. The way I plan to poke in this guy. Oh yes, I swear. Sometimes you can want to go why. The way I plan to do it. The way I wanted to do the guy. I want to have a complete show. Now, so I finished talking about the game. I'm not going to talk about a game. Let me bring in Dr. Mali. My man, congratulations, yeah. You carried the call, okay?
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you carried the call. So you'll take the cup. You'll get a president, you'll get a finance ministry, you'll get LRA, you'll get water and sewer, you'll get LEC, you'll take the cup. The crown nation, the crown people are very traditionally people, all right? So, taking the old man, the papi out there today, our boys are gonna be very as skillful as they are, going to be the game. And guess what? Nobody called Dr. Mali kind of upset me today than the liberal. The liberal called to come to provoke me. So this guy said he alofia now. Now his action today demonstrate whether be a politics, sports, anything, we will revoke this citizenship from Grand Jeda County and send him over to your having. He's not crossing Sister River. The Liberal is no longer a Grand Judeans, and I'm going to blow this bullhorn in Grand Jeda that Samson told is no more Grand Jeda. Your ticket, we just decided to feel sorry for you people today, and that's how we get your copy. Yeah, your ticket, okay? You saw the paper were great. The loafer just said, on your suit.
Oh yeah, no, Papa got to neutralize himself. You got to show that you for all the children there, but you get out anything under there.
You put it on there, you can wear red, and blue with face care.
But you know what I mean? For the Papa to be up there and gradually go beat the Papa, it's not gonna look good.
I know.
So that game, plenty will honor that game.
Politics all in it. I want to keep penetrating. That was a consequential. That could have been the turning point.
Yes.
The man bang here down the better go the same way they keep going.
But even when you saw Grand Jeda equalizer, when it came to 1-1, that equalizer goal, that was Lofa County keeper fault. How you go hold the ball, you go let it go, and you see enemy all around you. In a Grand Jeda had not scored that goal to equalize. I mean, I'm going to question them. I'm telling you. But Grand Jeda really perform, I mean, I rather like that team. Oh yeah.
I think we need to return to baseline. The days of those counter meet. I remember like the Ezekiel Doe, Robert Clark, and all of those folks. Counter meet was sunset, but the politics aspect in terms of how the teams have been treated, besides just not just the defeat. The defeat. There are a lot of things lead to defeat. If the players are not satisfied in lack of mental stability, basic needs are not met before even going to the game. All of that is a thing. But overall, I think what I want to know, what are the county they have an established county management team to kind of like oversee the sports authority of Vera County. I don't know about all the other counties, but I don't know whether that exists. If it does, somebody please let us know.
what I was already thinking on now is that I notice this is one avenue that is bringing relief to the Liberian people. After all the political disappointment, not meeting up to promises, tabletop issue not being addressed, but at least you get a counter meet bringing joy and happiness to some Liberian, at least for a few hours. You see, but my question now is, after the counter lead, what next?
What next?
What are the big plans? What are the big bold plans? Are they preparing to capture some of the talented players and will find government money to sponsor them outside to get involved in professional playing? What next? Or they all just going back to the villages again after a few years, they perish and other people come in? So I've been asking myself, what next? You see?
So what next year, if I'm quite correct here, there's a piece that we are trying to add a new feature to this, our political conversation. That what next is so inclusive, is embedded with so many things. And coming soon, or we will start, we're going to have the LPR Sunday opinion column with Dr. Otavius Mally Jones, the happy man in the this year county me. Let me make you certified. After all, Lofa, they want that big deal out of it. They flag them 2 times in the farmer.
I know you are working on this thing when the men of God started attacking in the chat room. I gotta produce all the names that who are not Liberian. I said, but the men of God gotta wait here. Let us see over to it.
That man there. This is a man who came here. The God that I know is a just God, and it's a God of all. But there's other God, man of God here. He tell people this is what's going to happen to you. He can't even we do this. He takes sides. So I don't even trust him. He is in laying hand over people. I don't know who he to lay hand over. So, yeah.
But anyway, it was a joyous day in Liberia.
Yeah. But my only concern, I think there's a need that the sport authorities seeing the momentum in the from time to time. The counter meet always is a exciting one. People put aside their differences to go out there, but they need to take into consideration the safety aspect of that. I mean, the field was jam packed, and people that were even outside of the field, they saw taking more than the required capacity of the stadiums, and it is obvious that the crowd going to overrun the security, enters the field, which put other people at risk, which get the field overcrowded because every stadium takes a specific amount of weight. We saw that happening before. There was some sort of game way back. I don't know now, Lone Star or Ghana. If you ever remember, that's the stadium that it was a problem. Because the stadium was just overcrowded. So they need to watch out for these things. And another thing that I observed, these people that play, I think the cash price attached to these winner, that's a chicken change. You have people goes on intensive training, coaches, you're giving people second under 200,000, that bring that or million. That's nothing compared to the revenue, that they receive. I don't know it here, but from all indication, they need to attach some sort of seriousness to things that they do. Terry, you from Maryland will flock you the other day. You came here, you say Lofa would be this and that. Lofa be now. Hallelujah. Praise be to God to you. Okay. You and the liberal, you'll go to Lofa. We'll see how you pass through. Maybe you pass through Riverside and go to Maryland. Okay, so and like I said, Dr. Mally with his background has added a feature on this network, which is going to be at LPR Sunday opinion column. And the first edition today, we hope to go into that live. Dr. Mally Jones, LPR educational analyst, title. Oh, it's supposed to be Liberian. I'll go put a Liberian. All right, folks, so please forgive me. Who are they? That's the diasporans, Liberian diasporans. Who are they? The other aided water carrier aid. And while we're doing here, maybe I'll see what I can have it edited because I don't want to put it up here. Can't have the BB people here and post something that is not correct.
I know.
Okay, so let's have a conversation here quickly. Dr. Marit, how's the Sunday?
Well, the Sunday not too bad, and at least we were able to succeed and made it today through His grace. And all in all, I think we are fine, and the family is fine. That's all we can wish for,
Right.
because when we are fine here, by and large, some of our people are found back home.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and sadly enough, we got so many bereavement sweeping across our states. Every weekend is some burial going on, It kind of a sigh, and I just take hat off to the bereaved family. It is them today. It could be us tomorrow or next door neighbor. So it's like there have been a long month of bereavement in the states. Most Liberians, especially young Liberians, just passing away. Kind of a sad, but I just extend my condolences to all the bereaved family. Even this coming Saturday is another burial again. Next Saturday is another burial again. And week after next is just another burial again, And I mean, it just sad. It's just so sad. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a young man we just did, like you rightfully said, this weekend and coming weekend again. The 7th weekend would be the former community vice president, the late Ellis Brown.
Yeah.
All of that, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy. It's such a world we're in today. But yeah, like you say, our prayers and thought out to the bereaved families, and I'll just pray that you keep courage. Hey, Aaron, the man, I don't know which country he supported today. I think he supported Lofa. Terry, you see, because Grandida flogged Maryland, so he gave his support to Lofa. When we had to go to a county, we think he better pass through River Selway. You're not going to go through Sister River. Hey, man, I want to see here all coming out. Now go to hell of a lion. Yeah. We want to make a paper to either feedback and now I later do now. We can't be running. We can't be running with celebrating. We're not trophy. They don't even know you, but they even want to see you. I think that you and the liberal will celebrate your trophy yet. But okay, the counter meet, Dr. Marley, the counter meet is over. What next?
Yes.
What's going to be the next conversation? Because people were distracted. A lot of things were going on. Other people counted were flogged. They decided to go to other people counted. Now the whole thing now is settles down today. Finally, the grand finale took place. Yeah, Lofa, some kind of way they married to carry it after flocking them 2 times in the final. People decided to fee for them. President come in, the song was hot. Okay, my man, don't score that penalty goal because it will bring problem. We want, stuff here now. It become a problem for us now. They get a saying that say can't have again and then go short tape. So that a short tape will decide to be calm to you guys now. It gave us a short tape, but that's okay. But
Yeah,
the key question now, the key question on the dust is settled.
Yes.
The men come in match again with that trophy from Kulahun or Vahun. And oh yeah. Yeah, Lofa, they come and cause noise in that time. Yeah, when Barrow big game. Barrow, those days when Barrow win any game, forget it. Your horse near any flower, all your flower will gone. They the one gets SKD complex to beat it up. But look, back on to the conversation. The county meet is over. It's a celebration going to take place. It's obvious. But what next on the typical Liberian daily bread or things that are going to be thinking about? That's the conversation now. because a lot of things been going on too behind the scene.
Yeah, because it's like from time immemorial, it has been customary whenever the county league starts and it come to an end. eh, Whenever the county league starts and it come to an end,
Hey, God, give Lord, give Lord. Let me get it out of my chest, okay? Let me get my own. Let me get my own feelings. The team Benny, I abandoned work, I abandoned everything today. Let me get my own feeling out of my will. And congratulations, you're to the call officer for you. Go ahead.
yeah, so it's like it is customary whenever the county league come to an end and the county wins the cup, people celebrate, government officials thank the people. There's a cash award and other congratulatory messages coming for them. They rejoice, they merry make. Family member come and appreciate them. And at the end of the day, they get back into the buses and they are bundled back to the various counties and they continue to play again until another season when the county league come over. So my question now is, it's about time we, when I say we, are talking about the government now, should be proactive. This time to come up with a bold plan to handle the county league differently after the match. So after all the celebration, after all the congratulatory messages and all the gifts have been awarded, what next? I think it's about time that we throw our lenses into the Vera team, pick up some of the well-talented football players, give them scholarship to follow their education, and those we think we can ask and they want to make football their lifetime career, well, we made some contact this way now. If we were now talking to His Excellency, former President Joe Weah, we bring him into the picture to guide us into the process, how we can send some of our kids out there to get trained. At least he has some rich idea in that area that we can tap into despite our political differences. And thus, this time now, we try to, the feedback of the county leader it be different this time. You see? Let it be different this time. Let it be of help. Let's see the impact of government into their lives. So we send the talented boys through the advice and consent of Joe Weah, asking him because this is an area that some of our novice who may not understand the detail and the ramification in there, and how best we can send the guys abroad to engage into professional football practices, as a career, and maybe select few and get an academic scholarship to further their school. Since we have failed to, I don't know whether I should use the word fail, since we have not been thinking through to see how best maybe we can organize or have the establishment of a football college in Liberia where we get foreign footballers coming in to train our kids, those who want to branch into football playing, and other sports. So probably the question of what next, we can bring in some of the innovative ideas. It should not be like the usual thing after the playing, they pack their bags, get some fuel cash, get back to the various counties. The normal thing that has been on for a protracted period of time now. It's a time for us to shift gear to bring in some of the innovative aspect into after this lead. I think that is the challenging question I will be posing to the government of Liberia.
What a loaded question. And who you think will answer that question?
Well, I think the rescue team should be able to answer this question because we expect a lot of innovation to come from this government. per their utterances during the campaign and up to this time, we expect to see something strange. Because when you are rescuing a country, trust me, you cannot rescue a country with the same old formula, the same old usual formula. You got to bring something strange. We want to see something new, something different, something we have not seen before. I think that's what we're talking about. So the government is well seated to tell us something.
Have they said something, or we just want to add another layer on more things?
Well, I would be disappointed if they didn't say anything, because it's customary. That's what they do. After the league, the kids go right back in their bungalow, go back to the Vera County, and that's it. The case is closed. No one thinking about them anymore until the next season or the next cycle of county league. I think this is gross injustice to these little talented football players coming up with no help, nobody thinking for them, no vision, no nothing. And so some of them even get perished along the way. So it's about time for the government to be proactive, come up with something new. We're tired with the same old thing. Is that the rights issue? It's about time that we start thinking how to feed the nation. You see, going to a meeting and meeting rice importer, and you disagree with their view, and it's not solution. The solution here is new ideas. What do we do? You see, so I see a lot of business as usual going on, even with the rescue thing that's supposed to be giving us some new version of things in our country.
New versions. It seems to me in this conversation, it want pivot, you want to turn it into a more political conversation than the sporting that I talk about. Now that way
No,
you seem to
no,
be
no,
like,
let's leave it to the sporting for now.
Huh?
I said, let's limit it to the sporting.
Yeah, I try to get my own grief out because, hey, good morning. Thank you guys so much, for. But this is what, and I want to be picking your comments here. We always, it's no, for us, we are independent, more or less, but sometimes you take the role of go so extreme, but that is okay. We're not like a laborer who wants to pick to see what favors him, but this is one of our followers inside Liberia. Going to do. Thank you for your support of the Gideon thing here. But this is what going is raised. Dr. Mala, you spoiled the conversation. I think the former president who was Saka Akon served as president for 6 years. Under his administration, the Minister of Youth and Sport budget was completely cut down. There was no plan at all for sports and no law as a former Saka Akon. Does Godwin have a point here? I think he was very strikeful and strategic in pointing, bring into light, reminding us, talking about plan. So what if I can make an educated guess, what Godwin is saying here, hey, hold up there. Why you want to blame that? You had a guy there who was a soccer legend. He could have put us, a strategic plan into place. And let's see if that plan was in place and then he leaves, somebody come and demolish or kind of like root it out, that would say, but that did not happen. Does he have a point?
Well, first of all, I want to thank Mr. Doe. I think he has a very valid point. But I just want to make 2 points of correction to Gordon expression. One, His Excellency former President Weah, he was in a very different capacity. And he was in the capacity of running a country as a president. He was not in the capacity as a football player to build sports stadium around. So I think he tried his best. But I also agree with Mr. Doe. At least he should have fortified the Ministry of Sport and come up with the bold ideas and leave it with his minister to come up with something good. So I agree with him. But equally so, in this government, Joe Weah is one person with outstanding foreign ideas, when it comes to a football career outside. So not consulting him, I think it would be very ridiculous.
So
But again, if the government have got other people to consult, then that would be fine. I just bring him in because he on record for a high-end career in that era, even though he utilized it during his presidency, which of course we did not elect him to base sports stadium. We elect him to serve as president and run the country.
So, yeah, there was a question where I was trying to come in, man, but you. So, what specifically do you? But I think he has a valid point because we saw some of the retired players, and when we talk about the budget, I mean that where the recognition of his name to even get into politics to succeed. If from that's where the empathy, the sympathy, and everything went into for which and every other thing followed because at the time then he was not a typical politician considering his role in the past. So everybody felt, okay, let's bring this guy in. He's going to do it. So maybe from what I'm saying, Gong is saying, wait a minute, maybe there are enough who have been done off camera, knowing fully well that his area to have make that place more viable, equip, give them the capacity, the real funding, using his contacts. Then, when he was actively playing, to kind of elevate and bring the ministry up to standards, sort of standardize it, make it more beautiful. But I'm not sure. But like you rightfully said, when it comes to politics too, it's a different thing because there are other different stakeholders involved. So you can't just have it 100% your way. But we all know in Africa, third world countries, for the most part, which Liberia is not excluded, the president always gets what he wants. The president, whatever the president says that issue happens, ultimately, so there will be a little bit here and there. But at the end of the day, it goes into the it goes into the president's
CEO, I'm not cutting you off. I think another phase of Mr. Doe point is this. Up to now, it still baffles me why His Excellency President Weah did not really focus to develop that sector. Up to this time, it baffles me. Probably the presidency carrying him or what. But what I want to bring into the picture here is, let's just put His Excellency President Joseph Boakai into perspective here. He a man that worked with LPMC, that agricultural story, he been singing it all along. Now he in the driver's seat now, unlike George Weah, he came from the sport background. So we will now say His Excellency President Boakai, agriculture is his passion. He been saying it long before he became president. And he continued to stress it. So now it will be a challenge for His Excellency if we can't feed ourselves up to the time he steps down. It's going to be like President Weah case again. We're going to hold his legs to the fire. Why is it that 6 years, this man did not put a bold plan in place for us to feed ourselves at the end of the 6 years? He's stepping down. We are still limited to subsistence farming, you see. And this same story is going to come back again, as it has come back for former President Weah. It's going to come back again for His Excellency President Boakai, who is a veteran in the agriculture thing, starting from the LPMC history. And long before the campaign, even he arrest program, he still put it in there. So that's something passionate to His Excellency. So we are going to wait and see.
Okay. All right. We will open the line as well, and then folks can call in. Let's try and activate this line here. Let our Lothian friends. And by the way, your call, I'm going to tell, thank you too. After all of these years, we came second, and we're very much magnanimous to make sure that we don't make the president to feel bad by whipping.
I don't know why you guys are feeling defeated. You came second place. You already played a tough game. I'm telling you. So the congratulations. it spread.
Oh, man, I wanted a cup. I wanted a cup to have gone to Zulu whiskey. So yeah, I don't want to be on that one. But anyway, it is what it is. So okay, let's jump to other folks here, like other things here. I'm going to open the phone line as much as possible. Elvis.
Yeah, Mr. Swan.
Oh, are you down? How that's what my man?
I wanted to say a minute, Chita was a dog,
yeah. You let me, you must say, I can't order that for where they do a liberal with Tabata here to after all, we wanted to beat that game, you know, because the person over there, no desire to respect him. But anyway, next time we know what.
The big conspiracy there is the Great Bassa team won, the Senate protest, our country, the president, country won, so everybody government and country won. So we can't complain. But no, seriously, I think, we're on the rise. I think last year we did well. And I think maybe it was last year or the year before. I don't know if they had it last year, but no controversy with the kicking or the penalty goal. I think the boys are, they're doing well. I mean, they're making a good showing of themselves in the last couple of years. So hopefully next year we're going to take that next step. Even in the kickball, the ladies went to the semifinals. They barely lost against Grand Bassa. So we're proud of the Nigerians, the Zulu Whiskey boys. They're doing well. So giving us a little bit of pride. I think that it could continue on that trajectory.
Okay.
Well, congrats to you guys, Mr. Mali. I know you're a big football man. But
it's like, sorry, I'm not even cutting. I wanted to have gone to Liberia yesterday, but just that CEO did not add all my money, and so like I couldn't go. You see?
Man. Yes. Yeah, I really want to give part to a bus on our feet there today, man. But anyway, that's okay. Yes, we'll get there. Let's have one who also plays on that field, our man Aaron, type striker. Aaron, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Soul.
So when you laughing at me, we think you are supporting?
No, I ain't laughing at you though. I really didn't follow the Academy this year like the way I did the other year. So
okay.
Yeah, congratulations to Lofa Kande for winning the Academy. Academy was one of the things I always regret when it comes to my soccer career, because I didn't play the Academy. I was one of the fortunate ones that just left from on a lower level straight to to the top level. I bypassed the Academy, so. I would love to play the Academy.
So, you didn't play in the Academy. So what?
Yeah, I just left from nowhere to somewhere.
How? Why? Why was that? Why did it happen that way? You think?
Well, it was during the crisis. Right after the war, the first ceasefire. Yeah, and they had a game, to like unite the country.
Right.
And I and Baron were playing. So most of the players were in Monrovia at the time.
Yeah.
Some of them were behind the line. So they had to just recruit from neighborhoods and stuff like that. They had to recruit me from West Point. And they took me, to train. And I trained and, I made it. That's how I played. When I played, it was Anthony Gray who was the coach at the time.
Teacher Gray.
This kid, I had stuck with IE, and I started playing for IE, just like that.
Wow. Okay, but I know you watched the game to this game, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't?
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't. I was in church.
Man, okay. See, now I see that one there. We can't force you to say you were here. Okay,
yeah.
Let's hold you there. Let me bring in Willie here from Chicago. Willie, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So. How you guys doing? I told me show tonight, huh?
Today, Pa, I want to lie to you, and I'm doing okay. I'll come in to see myself.
I will actually congratulate myself paying for the.
Be straight to the point. Straight to the point, right?
It couldn't happen because look at it. Don't look at it. The president from Lofa. You've exposed minister from Lofa.
Tell me.
Where was Zulu Whiskey fast to go really?
Finance minister from Lofa.
From Lofa.
LRA from Lofa.
From Lofa. So why you think that God did that God? You give it to the kid for free. I think he package will be heavy tomorrow.
Oh my goodness. Another Donald Trump war, the chief conspirator. Oh, but people start posting some crazy stuff already on Facebook. I really don't buy into that. But again, anything can happen.
It's just crazy, right? But however, we congratulate Lofa. But somebody talk about football were not to do honor President we are, which I don't believe it. Because honor President we are a grassroots game of football were really kind of getting on the track. You see all the mini stadium at least you were putting.
Yeah, I mean that was another investment into the game.
The LFA that's his office right now. It was built on him. So I mean, I understand the national team couldn't go up high because I mean they're all old guys in the system. Football, we need to develop football from the grassroots.
Right.
The people are there now. You can, Mr. So I can tell you, those boys that are there now, you can get a guy 100,000 a month. I'm telling you, we'll still be in the same direction. You can take a guy to America here and spend 6 months to team. I think there will be any big difference.
Maryland Lofa, man, congratulations, yeah. No, Terry.
All right,
All right, thank you so much. I think I need to find ways to ask the Rock of Gibraltar here, right in my own stadium, if I were to get out to bring him here for to get an insight on his day of soccer. Sagba Maya, he's here in the Ocean States. He lives here. I need to find time to bring him here for us to have a conversation. Okay, Evans. What you said?
Yeah, let me. I just called to make some comment to what Mr. Mali was, recommending and stuff like that.
Okay.
Toward, yeah. So, but when it comes to playing the game, any sport for that matter, it left with the individuals who play the game. The economy, all in all, when I was growing up, or even when I started playing, the economy, you always used to take players from the economy to come to IE, Barrow, St. Joseph, and what have you, and stuff like that. Not to the national team, because you got to play in the first division league before you go to the national team. So, it's a great idea, but you cannot take everybody from the economy and just bring them and say, okay, we're going to feed them and we're going to, put them in a camp and stuff like that. It's going to cost the government a lot of money. And, to the point that, saying, former President, we were there, he didn't do it. The last caller just brought us some of the things that former President, we are there. I think that if he would have, put his mind to soccer, the same thing that they're saying about him today, that's what going to be said. He's a soccer player. That's why they wanted to focus on was just soccer. He was there to run the entire country, not to just focus on soccer. But he did what he could do. So yeah, it's a great idea. If those kids are willing, they can come through the first division league, and they can go places for themselves. Jones did it. Other people did it. Some of us did it. Some of us came. We got a scholarship to come to this country, and we didn't pay a dime. That's how we got degrees today. So other people can do it. You don't have to go to Europe. You can come to the United States and go to school and do other stuff. I just wanted to say that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. I have a caller here. Caller, good evening.
Yeah, because
good evening.
this is Ambassador Roosevelt guy calling from Wisconsin.
The ambassador. So
that's my number. Like you don't have a new number. That's why.
You see, yeah, when you see they frog you too, you want to frog you can't. You go for your politician and when you go want to frog you can't. They change color. So, Ambassador, good evening. How are you? I don't know. Try and get some time to come here because the UPS guy on this network, when they come here, for them to talk their own talk, they can't do it. They go back to Joy. We are we are thinking about how to forge ahead. So you're the seditions. Are you still a sedition or you no longer?
Positive. I'm that has sedition.
Okay, all right. But good evening. Good to have you here, Ambassador. Let's hear what you make of the sport meet today.
Yeah, thank you for giving me the opportunity. I think the county meet. It was really good. The ending, the starting until the ending was really good. I think one of the things that I see that people come in here to talk about Georgia, we always have to come at least to put them on the right track to give them exactly what they are missing. When Georgia came to power, he did a lot of stuff for sport. The examples are right there in Morovia. You go to West Point, the field that was there was transformed into the morning field. Right now, you go there at night time, you see that in the day. Go to Claratown, you see the field there also. The lays go on and on in Morovia. So when people come and they keep saying that Georgia did not do so, did not do this. So it always like everything there is just going to be about Georgia, even if they're not in the power anymore, to focus on the field leadership to see what they are doing. They continue to come here to attack, and then what they are saying is not even making sense to some people, you know. And I think I posted something on my page today. Go see the number of people from my country that insulted me. They were the people when Georgia were in power. I think the country meet. I can't remember the year. It was between Lima and Grand Cruz, I believe so. When Georgia went on that field, they said Georgia present influence again, and then Grand Cruz took the call. This thing is about country just to bring people together. It's not about somebody going there to influence anything. Anybody can win because when time comes, the people can buy players. Wherever it is, you got money to look for players to play for your country, you can do. That was something we do for Nima County. We look for local children, we pay money for them. In fact, behind them to come to play for us. Now that all the people are from Nima County. So why would that be to be something that you're going to put it on Georgia? And the same thing happened today. Okay? So I try to remind them to say that the president of Joseph Waka on the field today is influenced the game, and honor man the whole game. So now they started getting angry, and they forgot that they said the same thing to Georgia yesterday when Grand Cruz won the country meet. And they said that he influenced the game because he went on the field.
So do you think his presence on that field created some sort of what sort of feelings is it you think was that?
Exactly so. He influenced and honor man the whole play. Let me tell you, the man is the commander-in-chief of the country. Most of the people that work in the work honor him. For them to come to sit there to see him, the country man beating, it's not going to work. It can't work. Things will happen.
So what do you think happened?
Most of the children there, they will go on the side and tell them, say, you're slow down with the king. Let the people not get anything to the people. You know that play, that things can happen. You know? Okay. So we don't want to blame Grand Gida why they didn't win the game. I want to say thank you to Grand Gida. They did well. Nothing they could have done more than what they did. Right. Because they do not have any force behind them to show that kind of superiority that able to make them to get them that kind of power to go and win. The president sitting down behind the children. All the top officials in the company from one country they sitting down there yelling, oh, you go. No, you the follow in the home. So that you know when you are around your children, you're giving them, you motivating them, you know what they have. You know? They will do things that they're not supposed to do.
Sedition.
Yeah, you know that. So this is how they came today to, well, we will tell Nigeria, thank you, they did well. And I need to redeem with that so the president can be listening in the country. We appreciate them. It takes extremely well to do that, to reach to that level. And maybe the next coming, if they do leave between them and the president candidate, they will take it. But they did extremely well. I want to say thank you for
Okay, thank you,
Just
sir.
send
Yeah,
me the
anytime
check.
you want to show face here, just let me know. Come on.
Yeah, I will let you know. Sometimes
I
I'll
know.
be here and we have some conversation in the evening.
Okay, thank you so much.
You got the seat, how they call it, UP people, they always frustrate when they're talking. I can really get hurt. I want to join inside them for no reason.
All right. Yeah.
Thank you, Dasso.
Okay. Yeah, James. Congratulations. Show your hand up. You won the game. We are okay with it. You are all over today on KMTV. And so that way you are happy, man. So if you want, just let us know. Come here. Okay, Mr. Collins, good evening. So welcome. We're not hearing you.
Yeah, good evening to you guys, Mr. So and Dr. Mali.
Okay.
Good evening to the panel and to the listeners out there.
What you pick up
And
the grand finale today? Who you are supporting?
well, I was not supporting anybody, even though
Oh,
I
come on.
suspected that Lofa were going to win.
There you go.
I sympathized a little bit with Grand Gide, but I just knew that.
Don't say about that. We flock you the other day, so you upset with us. So you happy. Don't you're not sympathize with us. Don't even go there. That's okay.
Lofa, yeah, I suspected Lofa to win the game because of several reasons.
What could be more reason?
Lofa in recent time have went to the final a couple of times, and they have some experienced player that
Yeah.
are playing wide range of professional soccer in the country. So obviously, Lofa had a better side than Grand Gide. But Grand Gide proving to be strong. They never lost any game through or until they reached the final. That was
Yeah, I
unusual.
think that's a huge.
And
Yeah, that's a huge mark. Yeah, yeah, you're
yeah,
quite correct.
and the penalty, I thought that the penalty that Lofa that was given to Grand Gide, that the goalkeeper cheated in the penalty, but the referee was not smart to catch it. Yeah, from I
When
saw
you
the
say cheater,
replay.
when you say cheater, what do you mean? He moved?
Yeah, his feet. He before you kick the ball, according to the penalty rules,
You see,
the
you say,
goalkeeper is either one of his feet have to remain on the goal line. Once he moves the 2 feet off the goal line, when you kick the penalty, is canceled. The penalty will be canceled. The referee will cancel it, and then it go for a re-kick because the goalkeeper feet supposed to one of his feet supposed to either remain on the goal line until the kick is taken before he can move. But he moved his both legs
yeah,
before
yeah,
they got the ball, and that was
yeah.
smart.
Yeah, so
You know,
because I know you should be still not moving here and there, but what he did today, it reminds me of Pee Wee Bestman, right? You
okay,
saw Pee Wee Bestman, formerly Fulani, I.E.
yeah,
Barrow,
Phil
Lone
Desmond.
Star. Pee Wee Bestman has a tendency of creating that sort of psychological emotions or fear, intimidation, or manipulation, whatever way you can, just to kind of like put himself. He will always like put his hand up and then he do it like this. It's like you telling you, I'm saying, I just put that boy in my hand. And that's what he did today. But the player too, you as a player, I think you got to be skillful. Skillful in the sense that you watch and see the movement of the goalkeeper. If you saw this guy, the same directions that he
Right.
positioned himself, you could calculate it was that same area, just how he positioned himself moving towards that ball. It's the same play he went and put the ball, and he saw the keeper going in that direction.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
the problem too is that there are experienced players that kick penalty. Penalty is a different game.
okay,
Even
okay,
good
great. I
players
like you mentioned,
can
yeah.
miss penalty. Yeah.
Somebody called me from Liberia. We're talking about this thing here. So I say, I don't know what are the technical teams, not just on the Grand Gide, because these sort of games, I think when you are in a tournament, which potentially sometimes end up in a penalty kick, I think the technical or the coaches should focus on at least training at least 7 good person,
Right.
just in case the game goes to in a penalty shootout, you want to count on 5 person. and you must have them in an order of priority, skillful people. And you are quite correct. Not everybody, the best players sometimes they screw up when it comes to penalty. So you need to have skillful folks that are trained. If they're the only thing will get in a goal, they get in a goal. Because that penalty kick today, it was consequential, it was vital. That could have been the turning point of this whole thing if he had just scored. Because then psychologically, it could have changed the dynamic of the game because the momentum was shifted on Grange's side.
That's true.
But the man bent down there, hitting palm bottle in. I know right here palm bottle before we run the top of the wasting your eye or whatever.
The fear
and just move to the same play and just you saw the keeper all bluffing, getting ball, putting it on his chest. Oh my God!
The man walked to the ball. Man. You see the problem too. The atmosphere, Mr. So all had impact on the players because the president was there, the Lpr-Tv jubilating after the goal, and this was a moment.
All of them were there.
This was a moment that it was huge.
Everybody came today.
Yeah, the messing up psychologically because that penalty he kicked was very sluggish. And the goalkeeper was smart. He paid attention directly to the goalkeeper. I mean, to the referee in the last minute.
The last tournament, people made an argument and say, "Oh, because Sammy was on the field," and people have way of arguing their own point here. But the field, what do you make of the organizational structure of the tournament itself?
What
the good thing this year,
the
sponsorship. I mean, the entire setup. One of the good things I realized I saw this year, we're getting kudos. I don't think I didn't see any sort of confusion, protestation, people walking. I don't know what happened. Maybe I missed any of that, but they sort of sometimes fighting and all that kind of thing. That aspect really happens. I don't know what
I think it was Grand Coup or Grand Basel, one of them filed protests. I think it was Grand Coup filed protest against Grand Basel. I'm not sure. Somebody can correct me. And the protests were denied. I think they said that there were players that was not supposed to be on the team, and all of that, and those players came in. But then they threw it out because most of those players, it almost like the Super Bowl here. Players can be bought from different state. They don't have to. The players don't necessarily have to come from the state. Players can be bought from different places.
Okay.
Like today, Grand Gida had two players that were brothers. They both are Grand Gida had a player that were playing on local team, and both of them were brothers. So apparently they came from they both of them were not from could not have been from Grand Gida either or from Lofa. Both of them could have come from different counties, but they were playing against each other today. So, but the tournament, you were saying something.
I know we are not technical people, but we just try to give this sort of a philosophical conversation to us, so maybe to Dr. Mali. If this county meet here, the traditions of this county meet more or less is to showcase young athletes in the county. I don't know. I know there was some sort of maybe Aaron, if you have the time, you can call back. I believe those the LFA have sort of laws. You can feature certain number of first division players for the county. I don't know whether it's still there, but beyond that, should there be some sort of system if we want this competition to be very competitive? We want to kind of like build the skills of people so as to make them to feel part of the process. Should they come with some sort of system? Like, you know what? Every county, your county, some of the county get, but I don't know how many towns, 100+ towns, you have skillful people there who are physically fit. People should have adequate preparation. People, they should prepare people. Every town or village will have a player. I think I will ask everyone the 1 year to get player there, but I still see people taking people here and there, or sometimes first division people still playing without a 1 or 2 person. I just think it's unfair. I want you to respond, but let me just ask Aaron here. Maybe you know. Aaron.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you, you've been in this game here. I know at some point in time there was some sort of restriction in terms of how many first division players should play for a county. meet. Do you know whether that law is still in play? And don't you think if we to get this county meat to be really attractive? I mean, LD counties, they are huge, more than 100 or 150 towns, and they are strong athletes. Why not they kind of create a situation where they will have people from those counties? You can come from different counties and stays there, but to just get players from in those counties to be able to play. Is that something possible, or I'm just talking some tabata because they beat me?
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. When it first started, they started with only three first division players. But then LFA kind of changed it because they noticed that, the counties were not bringing their talents out. So they decided to just restrict it to only players like who are playing first division and things like that. I think then later on, I think it grew now to the point where you cannot even use a second division player anymore. So it's just players from, regular players to just recruit different talent. God is doing it now. There's no first division and second division player.
Oh, so that is still in force, correct?
Yeah, it's still in force. Yeah.
Okay. I think then that's better because it gives chance to them because if they're gonna, Mr. Namwe, I think Victor, I'll send the link check. So check your email. Okay, all right, good. You made that clarification because I think we need to. Yeah, thank you for that. For information. Okay.
Yeah, something that Omale was saying that I heard and I want to speak to concerning the county meet. You can't put it on the government continuously that, the government should do this, the government should do that. Everything is the government. The government who already have money, they got other priorities to focus on. But there are Liberians who can become managers of those various counties soccer team, and they can solicit, funds to be able to help these soccer team to improve. Like take, for example, today, like what you said, people say, the country, people struggling and things, but today, over almost 30,000 or more than that was on the field today. All right. They attended. There were people outside. There were people inside. All right. And they went there. So they have to channel, the people have to be told how to channel this particular support to their county to support the various counties to the county meet. And you need Liberians who are philanthropists, who have some money to go and support these teams in the country. You cannot just depend on the government for everything that the government should supposed to do. The government don't even have sufficient money for youth and sport to handle these things. These are just strategies put into place to create an atmosphere, to create reconciliation.
Yeah, but CEO, let me just push back.
What is it, Mr. So?
No, I'll say let Dr. Malley push back on you here today.
Yeah, let me just push back on this. Government has the responsibility to set up a bold plan. You set up the bold plan and sell these ideas. Somebody will buy the ideas. So if you're waiting, as you see, we keep hearing the thing, country broke, no money, priority. The money that is being stored in our country is more than the money that is available. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about? Look at the kind of life the representatives are living. Look at the policy they put in place, the kind of money they're getting. People are taking more than what we have. So the issue of the country don't have money, I don't really buy into the argument. But government can come up, the Ministry of Youth and Sport can come up with a bold plan. All right? And even market this plan in the newspaper. And even motivate how other private entrepreneur can come in to help.
They don't have to do that.
All right? No.
No.
But that's not a government responsibility.
Now, Mr. Terry, you're speaking. I did not interrupt you. Just
okay, go ahead.
This is my strategy. All right, I'm advancing my strategy. Government come up with a whole plan.
Free independent strategy.
Yes. What you brought in, government don't have money. That's your strategy. I don't want to go that direction. I continue to repeat, more money is stolen than the money on hand because of the type of lifestyle in that country. So as a government, you come up with a bold plan. This is where when the people say, when no vision, the people perish. In Africa, we look up to government for a lot of stuff. But I will not look up to government to find out a whole lot of things. But I can look up to government to come up with a bold plan. Yes. Come up with a bold plan. The Ministry of Sport come up with a bold plan with a county lead thing. Put it in the paper. And just leave it there. There's some wise people that are going to read it. They'll say, oh, I've been thinking about this. I think I can go that direction. But other than that, nothing is going to happen. You get big business people all around our country. The county lead just ended today. That's it. It's all over until next county lead again. So government should come up with bold plan in every sector of that country. And only a proactive government can do that. Now government are concentrating on where we're getting money from to line their pocket. They will never ever have vision for the country. So a bold plan is necessary, and I have not seen one yet.
So is that the right point you're making reference to this government, or you just speaking in general? I'm curious.
No, this is a practice, sent time immemorial. Okay? Like even my brother that came in on the phone, they said, Joe, we are there a lot for sport. Well, I'm not really concerned about Joe. We are building infrastructure and facility. I'm concerned about building sport capacities of the youth. Build the youth sport, build their capacity in sport. Send them out. Let them get these talent. They're going to live with them for the rest of their lives. Building the infrastructure all around town. Those are political advertisement. It can come later on. And that's what I'm talking about. You see? So Georgia did pay late service to the entire sporting revolution in Liberia.
Wow. Okay. J. Victor Nabe is here, one of the defeated county to, I don't know. So who, Dr. Male is the only victory man here today, eh? Well, okay.
Yeah. But wait a minute, CEO, you see the excellency on our feet and you're meeting the rule. Are you sure of that? Come on, man. I send you back to Samuel Kedo days. Samuel Kedo will be on our student and Nigeria go lose. Oh, come on, man.
I see the Lothians are all in it tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're all in it. I think the journalists must say, I think we're paired tonight. Oh.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yes.
But Dr. Male is not a Lothian. I don't know why you. Dr. Male,
I mean,
11 went to Grand County.
And that's why I'm about to ask, how did Dr. Male become a Lothian?
Gentlemen, you know, I mean, Mr. Host, co-host, Terry Collins, and Victor Nangbe. I mean, it's just a time to celebrate. You know, that's it. You know, the entire country meet is all about, I mean, unity, unification, the rest of it established since 1956, and Lofa now carrying it at least 2 times. Yeah, so I mean, it's victory for us all, especially my brother from the other end there. I'm talking about independent voice and the Mihos. Yeah, the Mihos. So yes, I mean, yeah, we're having a stunning celebration, of course, and not only in Lofa County, but across Liberia's 15 political subdivision. So yes, it's electric, it's fascinating, definitely. And yes, I mean, we are very much joyous about it. Imagine reaching the finals and semifinals of the African, I mean, I almost the African Cup of Nations, of the national county meet. I mean, 3 to 4 times in a row. Oh yes, and you know, and today. And today, at least we are there. I mean, victory to Lofa first, and victory to all Liberians for that matter. Yes.
Will you agree with me that since the president inauguration last year up to today, this is the first time Liberians are having a joyful moment in our country?
You see, Mr. So you see the man going political again, you know.
But yeah, the man gonna pull it again. Terry Collins, what's up, man? What's up?
What's up, Mr. Akwe? How you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm okay. So I mean,
sorry, I
let's
just got
celebrate.
that
Let's dance
information.
to the rhythm of the beat. Let's dance to the whims and caprice of course. I mean, it's a joyous time for all Liberians. We are one people, from Nima to Lofa, from Maryland to Grand Cape Mount. I mean, we just one people, and let's do those things that will continue to keep us together as one. That's it. And let me let you let me let you people go, Johnny, because I have a long ride, and back to Iowa and resuming normal, routine. Monday we
Yeah,
have to go.
yeah, quickly before you go.
Yeah.
I don't know. I haven't had a chance to review LFA profile, but somebody is saying protest. One, you get LRA, Lofa get LRA, Lofa get finance minister, Lofa get I call it
Kickball victory.
yeah, and how they call deputy speaker. All of that is against LFA handbook. So we gotta go visit that handbook and file in protest. We gotta play that game all over. And that game, we will send it to. It will be played at the Zuadu Sports.
Imagine missing a penalty almost in the time minute of the second half. No,
I don't know what that guy.
But congratulations, Mr. Akwe. Congratulations to Lofa.
Yeah,
I know
congratulations
That was a great game. But I think Lofa deserved it. Lofa put a fight. If you look at it psychologically, the tension was on there. I mean, 2 times you enter the grand finale and you don't win. You know what's going to be the repercussion, the backlash of this whole thing if they are not even winning today too. So I see that way what there. And on the other side, Grangy, after almost I don't know how many years, and then you enter finals. But I think somebody got to win the process. But I'm happy to win in a friendly manner, no fighting, no throwing stone, because this thing when it happens, ordinary people get hurt who have just gone to socialize, to make friends and all of those kind of things. So overall, I think that it was peaceful. I think this year the referees, I think LFA, I would say that they were people match officials, because sometimes these tensions derive at the irresponsible attitudes of people who match officials, giving people red card for no reason, calling for penalty that needs not to be called. They all have to create tension. But I think that was sort of minimized at the highest level, so that kind of help to stabilize the playing field and also make the tournament a good one. So,
thank you, gentlemen, and have a wonderful time.
Okay, enjoy your cup.
Okay, bro. Okay, brother.
But next year you're not carrying it, so you know. Okay. All right, guys, let's return to conversation here. So sport is also good. Mr. Namwe, let's hear you now. Okay, there are much talk about counter meet is over, but there are a lot of things still hanging in there. Would Liberians, would the conversation now shift? Does that matter to people? People want to forget it? What do you think going to be the conversation before May week?
Well, I hope that Dr. Malik pointed that out as I was coming on, that over the past 12 months, this is one of the times, when we all seem to be, celebrating, with one accord, celebrating Liberia. So I hope over the next couple of days, people will continue to celebrate. As you said, we think this event got off without any major hiccups. So congratulations to the teams, the players, supporters, even the government for running a smooth operation. But I hope it will be a ding, turn the light bulb on in the head of this government. There are just some little low hanging fruit that they could use, to unify the people. Sports is one of those. It's a unifier. It really helps, and I hope they will realize that. The sports meet could really help to bring the people together, and it could also help to boost the economies of these counties. Perhaps instead of bringing everything down to Monrovia, I'm sure you probably discussed this already. they could try to rotate this thing. If it is too difficult to rotate from county to county, then regionalize the country. You can have the eastern region. They do their thing, and then everybody can assemble in one place and probably play the quarterfinals and the semifinals or something like that. But I know that a few years ago, one of the smaller counties, not even a big one, the budget for the county was around 800,000 Liberian dollars. I mean US dollars. If you put that in a small county like say River G or Maryland, or River says, that's a lot of money that could help to boost the economy of those little counties. So I hope they'll realize these two things. One, maximize sports as a unifier, and also try to use it to boost the economies of these smaller counties. If we can't do it every year, maybe we can do it every 2 years or so, to give these counties time to prepare. But yeah, take it out of Monrovia, take it to Lofa, take
Well,
it to
Mr. Nabwe, before I bring in Terry, to that aspect, I think the issue of the county maintenance of late day, I think they decentralized it in that these preliminaries are played in these different regions, which of course I think that should have been done first and foremost way back. I don't know why that didn't happen because
right.
not everybody going to have this transport. Not everybody have the financial capacity to leave Maryland, Sano, Grand Gide. But people that in Mangibi, Momos, Bomb County, they are still within the proximity. But even at that, it's still a financial burden.
It
So I
is.
think I like the part that is being decentralized and the quarterfinals come to Morovia. At least people do their own thing in their own area here. So
That's right.
I think
And
I
and
think
and and, and to land that point, I think those of us here in the diaspora too, I think this is where we can come in as well. I saw a lot of movements in the various, Liberian organizations, county organizations, so many, mostly county organizations, doing fundraisers. I know in the Maryland County chat room, a fundraiser did not get started until during the quarterfinals. But notwithstanding, we raised a little over $1,600, which if we had started earlier, could have gotten bigger and could have helped the team. So I think that's something we should also do, those of us in the diaspora. And like I say again, if it is maybe once every 2 years, we can start to build up, because before the meet begins, there's a lot that goes into preparation, the training, all of the
exactly.
camping. So we can all come in and rally around the teams and make this thing grand. And I think there's a lot to be celebrated here from the content meet. Before I land, I came on the show specifically. I called you, but you're already engaged. I wanted Dr. Jones and others to know that because he's always asking what has Yola done lately. I put a link up in the chat room. There is a meeting tomorrow that the government of Liberia is organizing in collaboration with Yola on this whole immigration question. So I'm encouraging all of our members, contact your chapter leaders because they will be speaking on behalf of the chapters. But we're meeting with the government of Liberia. It's a Zoom meeting. I put it on my timeline as well. Everybody's welcome, but you'll be speaking to your
Join.
chapter leader. Is at 12 o'clock Eastern, which is 5 o'clock Liberian time. But the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, through the embassy here in DC, in collaboration with Yola, is organizing, a forum tomorrow. Over 1,500 Liberians are being threatened with deportation by the Trump government, which is bogus. But we cannot do it much. We can do it. We can get stronger and do it much effectively if we are doing it on an individual basis. So we want to rally the forces, under the umbrella organization of Liberian here in the U.S. and see how we can work with the government to see how we can put a stay on this deportation order by the Trump administration. And that's why I was calling you. Right now, there's a meeting going on, but I took an excuse, and I'll stay here with you in case anybody wants to call in and talk to me. I will go. That's the consultation we've been having all day today. That's why
What sort of conversation?
CEO, I got a question for Mr. Nabwe.
Well, hang on, Dr. Male. What sort of consultation? Right now, what we're doing is the meeting we had earlier. Most of the chapter leaders were there. We agreed to disburse and come back again. So the chapters are going to come to us and inform us on the specifics of the particular chapters. And then we'll correlate all of those positions. What is happening in Iowa, for instance, what is happening in Arizona, what is happening in Georgia, what is happening in Iowa, Ohio, what is happening in New Jersey. So that meeting is ongoing now. But that meeting will constitute the president's position tomorrow that he will be sharing with the government of Liberia tomorrow. And together, we can then formulate a position that we would then, forward to the State Department. And hopefully our Liberians who are being faced with deportation, will be spared this agony.
Okay, before I bring in Terry here, Terry, and I think this is where, because I talked to other people too, a lot went on during the weekend here. I believe one of our brothers to rest. May his soul rest in perfect peace, and we'll keep praying with the family here. Do you think the diaspora organizations, and not just only the big mother organization, nearly all of the countries, they have some sort of organization here, sectional organization? We are in a very volatile situation. I'm not sure, and even my own country too, I'm not saying any release, maybe I'll try to reach out to the president here. In order for the citizens to feel that people stand in their gap, to fight for them, because these organizations always want something in return to these people. This is the time to validate why we must have these organizations, by creating an awareness, by having meetings, by talking to them. And I know federal thing is less that you can do, but by virtue of the fact that you have this sort of meeting, create an overt awareness just in case you are confronted, and maybe to talk to people, but people also to hold by, because we have people who do not value the privacy of other people. In fact, they're going to turn around and kind of like and say, hey, go so play. This person is so. But I think it is important that we come together as a people, all of these organizations. If you want your people to value what you do, people that have been staying away, there's no reason for that. But I think this is a perfect storm that you would do a real outreach, so that people in the past that you wasn't doing anything, they would say, oh, wait a minute, we thought this was not happening. But here are these people, they are reaching out. Has anybody approached you? If anybody approach you, whatever, say anything, this is the phone number. This is how you should respond. You got to create that sort of educations, tell people by talking to lawyers and other things. Do you know of anything, maybe the OLM or other organizations carrying some sort of awareness to the citizens in Minnesota area there?
Well,
Just
I've
in the
not heard.
case of people.
Apparently they're doing it, but I have not really heard. And I think the organizations are feeling the Liberian people in the diaspora, because like they should have been ahead of this, because everybody expected this to happen. It's not, listen to Mr. Nangwe speaking, is good that they're trying to handle it professionally, but I think also it's because of the lack of the capacity of the organization, the lack of resources, fundings, and all that. So you can't fully blame the organization. But I think that because of over the years, the organizations they have been feeling to adequately meet up to the standard of the expectation of the Liberian in the diaspora. So as a result, that the lack of contribution to the organization have weakened them also. So they are not being able to adequately address the situation firsthand, even before before these things begin. But a proper organization will be able to address these things long before, put some mechanism into place to tackle the challenges, because you already saw it's coming from a distance. But I believe that these organizations are weak, so they cannot be able to fight it. They will just say something because they have to say something, but they don't have the resources, they don't have the capacity. You have to hire lawyers, you have to be on the spot, you have to engage what's going on, you have to create the awareness both from social media perspective, and they don't have the resources to do that. So
They don't have the
I think
resources.
it's the lack of support from the Liberian community because they were not able to meet up to the standard that the Liberian people anticipated. But I think the Liberian too in the diaspora, they don't welcome. We don't work together. We have selfish people. We don't work together, and once we are not doing that, it will kill any organization successfully. And when the time comes when we really need this organization, they will not be able to help us, and we will blame them. The same way we blame our government. That the same way that the same thing happening to these organizations in the
No,
diaspora.
Terry makes a very legitimate point, and we admit that. I come on here and I get bashed, Dr. Mali, Sisi and all these people, and I get it. We came into office with a trust deficit. The union right now is suffering a trust deficit, and I get it. There are a lot of people right now who don't really take the union for.
Look,
But
now, you are part of the system. Are you just a new person coming, or you've been part of the system before you got to the IF?
Well, this is my first active participation with the union. My wife was a secretary general on the former government of Shehu Kamara the past 2 years. And so this year she rose to the position of vice president, and I came on board, but I've really not been active. I've been a little bit distant from the association. But notwithstanding, Terry has a point. We think the union is suffering a trust deficit, and we've been doing everything in our power to kind of quietly, repair the damage. It is damage that has been done over a long period of time. It will take time, to rehabilitate the image of
Dr.
the
Mali.
but notwithstanding, this situation, we hope and are hoping, that will be one of the redeeming moments. We're putting all our all into this, and we intend to do the best we can to stand with our people. What he's talking about right now, we are aware that the Liberian Association in Pennsylvania is having a meeting on the 7th. They have invited us to this meeting. We hope to go in there and let our people know what was discussed at tomorrow's meeting. We hope to do that with several other chapters as we go along, just to inform our people on the do's and don'ts. There's a lot of misinformation that is circulating. There's a list that is circulating. We don't know the legitimacy of this list. But what are you supposed to do in this instance? There are some people who are going straight to the immigration to ask, what should I do? No, you shouldn't be going there. You have to avoid certain areas if you know your documents have a question. Avoid this, the food banks, avoid these public gatherings. Those are places that were off limits before, like the churches and the schools, and these places. But now the Trump administration is vowing to go into these places. So our people have to be aware. So we want to start the education, and then we can begin, to start on how to tackle this issue. Hopefully tomorrow's meeting, we have an immigration lawyer who will be joining us from Atlanta area tomorrow, hopefully, to come and talk to our people to kind of educate us what to expect, how to behave, what to do, what to answer, what not to answer, what your rights are.
Dr. Mali, this sort of obituary outline Victor Nangbe is bringing here is a clear indication, like Terry said. A lot of our organizations, they have failed miserably. The social services aspects of these organizations completely omitted, and they have become more politically inclined using these organizations to make their way to get up there, especially, presidents. So they get a lot of people, and they think they can get some political support. And these are things that they should have done, or they should have addressed in the past. Considering the nomenclatures of these organizations, it should be more or less social services oriented. We can't even address the plight of our own members here. The one here, we don't have volunteer. Our people don't volunteer. You don't have person to even take them for the appointment. People are old folks. They don't, language barriers, to even have these organizations as sections or a committee that will focus on helping people to do their immigrations or even green card, documentations, or even go out there, because you have to create that sort of trust, that confidence too, so that they will rely on you. Because there are some people, I don't want to tell Terry my personal thing. The next day, Terry will call somebody in North Dakota, guess what? And my man, yeah, man, they play it or either trust I would try to get it. Man, get people who take it. My man, I already met yesterday. Now, all of these things there, I think we fail in doing that. And here we are now. We are in the middle of this thing here because the Goliath that is in town now, he doesn't give a heck for whatever going on. He's like, you blow me, I blow you. He doesn't care. See what is happening with the you say here. What this guy is calling me for? Hello?
Hello.
What's your name and where are you? Is that a loafer man?
Good evening. My Loma and my DC is not that clear tonight, and so I'm not going to bore you with that. Just for clarity, I'll just say, in Gagin, I want to say congratulations to the president and the people of Lofa.
Okay, bye.
Hold on.
No. That's what I'm.
Hold on.
Congratulate to who?
I also want to say congratulations to the people of Grand Gila County and entire Liberia for putting up such a wonderful program for in the interest of unity. But the subject matter you guys are on right now is very interesting. Now we're going to see the Jews of the like of Nambe and the rest of the Yula group. Let's see. I think Donald Trump, even though I don't like Donald Trump much, but I think that's why I like him. He's shaking the tree. All the big Mogui, the yeah, I know they want you like. Let's see now. Let's see what are the guys Jews. What can they do for the Liberian people? Every time they go to the function, $50 to enter, $25 to enter. Now all we gotta do, we just eat golden cow every day. Donald Trump gonna knock that golden cow out of the elected official. Let's see how much they're gonna do. Are they willing to cooperate fully with the Liberian government and be able to resolve the issue? And do they have that kind of budget to hire lawyers? And what happened with some of the lawyers, Liberian lawyers? Now, why can't they take new pro bonos in the interest of the Liberian people? Now we'll see. All the Kasawali and Pamela that be eating around here. Now we'll see what they're going to do about it, Mr. So thank you very much. This is a very interesting subject matter. So I'm going to take my answer off the air.
All right. So I hope you get your juice bottle with you. You know, because you sound like right now he's talking about that juice bottle with you.
Every time he calls, he just talk all kinds of stuff.
I'm telling you.
On a serious note,
so you got
I think we have failed. All of these organizations, they are failed on the social services aspect. Because, and this is the difference with we and the Hispanic people. Our people, we find ourselves, we have this sort of tendency, we pull people down. This thing, I think it should have been done long time. Because the only way you can have someone here with old folks, even some of our people that have worked our service organization, it's the same thing here. They would never recognize what you do until when you die, when you are a dead man, and they begin to look at you in a coffin. Oh, look at your face, how your face changed, so how you say do it. Then they come and make these sort of flamboyant, useless speeches. He was this, he was that. That recognition should have been given when he or she was alive. We don't do it. It's the same thing now we are talking. Liberians are good of managing crisis, which of course they can manage, but I think we need to avoid these things. We should have had these things in place. Dr. Toto, can you call the LPR line 682 number? Let me just put it up. So yeah, Terry and
so why are you talking to Dr. Toto? Let me address a point that you made.
Dr. Male wanted to come in.
Yeah, let that matter wait a little bit.
I'm addressing the high seat. All of your close.
That's the poor host you're talking to, so you gotta be.
Yeah.
No, Dr. Male told me to go ahead.
I don't know your woman vice president, and you I don't know vice president number 2 or vice president number 3.
I'm vice president number nothing. I'm vice president number nothing. I'm vice president number nothing. But listen. You made a point here. Again, is a trust deficit I was telling you about. Yes, a lot of people have come through government from Yola. We understand that. But this team really is trying to do the best we can to make a difference. If you remember, the out of December, there was a diaspora Liberian annual return that was happening in Liberia. We were on that program, all right? We got invited to the initial meeting, but we had questions about the planning, the purpose of this meeting. And so I am in charge of diaspora affairs. I actually set up a chat room that was very active. But the union had some questions, some of the questions you're raising. What was the purpose of this meeting? And then we were not too clear on the rollout. And so we decided, we will advise you, but we're not going to actively participate because we don't just want to go to Monrovia and have photo op. Well, that meeting went on, and we think that they did very well. We haven't seen the reports yet, but from the pictures and all of that we saw. So we're not just in this thing to go to Monrovia and go to the mansion and go to Capitol Building and take pictures. No, we're in it for substantive issues. So if we think there is an undertaking that is not substantive enough, I will quietly wait our turn when we think we can make a constructive impact. So that's what we are engaged with. And I will pass it back on to Dr. Mali because I know you have 101 questions. So you can go.
Yeah, okay. Dr. Mali, before you come, let's see whether we can get these callers here. Our own analyst, Dr. Toto, is here, and another number from Maryland, area 443, number 3356. Gentlemen, Dr. Toto, good evening. They're flocking 4-0, then here all one laugh at Grand Gila County. Can you imagine? They beat you 4-0. They're our own, they're 2-1. Okay, all right, I'll take it back. Okay, Dad, good evening. But let me, you can stick there, but let me just bring the other caller so that way if you want to hold on, you can hold on yet. 433 number, are you there, caller? What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, sir, I'm here. This is Prince Sharif, and I'm calling you from Maryland to be specific. How are you, sir?
Mr. Prince Sharif, Adaha Seditions, Adaha Reactions. Good evening. What Doctor, we are on our feet there today too?
Well, the few was okay. Liberia was encouraged, and I think
I want another show. Let me get back.
By His Excellency President Dr. George Manawia. We look at the inclusiveness, the love that Liberians show today. It's something that has always been encouraged by His Excellency President Dr. George Manawia. So, as it relates to the euphoria that we saw today, yes, I can say President Weah was on the field, through what he channeled at the time he served as president. So maybe in person he may not be there, but yes, he was there. He was there because we saw, how the team was. So he was there, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, let's hear here. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. But to the issue, I listened to my brother Terry.
No, what I'm what is it?
Hello, sir.
Hold on. I said, Dr. Toto, you are an analyst. So let's let the guy. No, that's not what I'm saying. No. There's power thing here everywhere. I told you, no, Prince just want to make a statement. There you go.
Thank you, Dad, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you so much. I'm listening to my brother Terry and all of the studio guests also and the panelists. I think they are making a very, very brilliant point. But there are a few things I want to say here, and I want to be very straight to the point. I agree 100% with what Terry is saying, the financial incapacity of this organization is something that is very clear. And I think if we can have this organization to be more like, somehow financially stable, I believe they can be able to, try to see how best they can make significant intervention in these kind of, happenings, especially that we are seeing here in the U.S. But unfortunately, most of these programs, immediately after the program, you are out of here, the money is being squandered, and that will be a whole other stuff. People will be going to court here, there, Yana. So, these are some of the challenges that they are faced with. But I think, looking at it from another point, the government of Liberia has a significant role to play when it comes to ensuring that, they can make an intervention, especially in this kind of case. And I'm going to give you an example. When President Weah was president of the Republic of Liberia, we saw that he made some frantic effort in working with the Union of Liberians in the Americas Remember when Honorable Nathaniel Magee, at the time, the Minister of State for Presidential Affairs, when he, served as guest speaker at one of Yola's programs, and he committed, the government's support to Yola, where he even said, there was a need for government to be able to strengthen some of these organizations that are here, because at the end of the day, these are Liberians. They are not people from other planets. They are Liberians. And if any way that government can be able to help, to some extent, not to subsidize them per se, but to work along with them, to see how best they can strengthen them financially. And that would have been, something very good. And the government of President Weah was looking at that. You remember right on the platform and many other platforms, there were people who condemned Honorable Nathaniel Magee and said, they said all kinds of demeaning things. I don't want to repeat on this reputable institution.
So let me.
But what I think is that, sir, that organizations that the government of Liberia needs right now, as we are looking at this thing, need to work along with these different Liberian organizations to see how best they can capacitate them, even whether, working along with them to provide a kind of legal team, or a kind of financial assistance that these organizations will be able to get the
okay, Prince, let me hold you.
Liberia.
Hold it.
It will be of help.
Okay, let me hold you there.
Contributing back to the economy of Liberia.
Okay,
but
Prince.
It's unfortunate that this
Prince.
government is not that physical.
Prince.
Nothing.
Prince.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hold on. Don't go away. Just hold on. It's a crowded house. I'm going to keep you on the line. Let's have a conversation. Dr. Toto, and we're going to come to that. Dr. Toto.
Yeah, also thank you on the big brief Mr. Dagbe and the other two partners for the show tonight. Just to point out somebody's statement that Mr. Dagbe make about what you are planning to do, and the other quarter that call for us to talk about why you have the other best voice for Yula. When we were in Yula, we faced the same accusation that Yula not doing that when it comes to trust issue. Yeah, there are ongoing issue in Yula. But that was ended. If you see the fight for Yula immigration process, Yula have one of the vibrant immigration advocates in the diaspora. During Donald Trump's first term, when he came so big with the immigration issue again, you all can recall when Yula took that fight. Through some of their partners, through some of the Jack Reed and other senators and Congress or guys. And through that, Donald Trump wanted to give a pathway to Liberia or through citizenship, through law or defense bill. And a lot of Liberians benefited from it. And you not reach out at that time, and you not reach out at that time. People who were given an opportunity, they were just supposed to pay few amount of money to get a paper straight or and get a pathway for citizenship. So but they don't benefit, they don't even take advantage of it. You now have series of meeting, they have or Zoom meeting, they reach out to people in the rural community and support that data. So I don't think this should be another big possible for Yula. I think Yula need to work again to get some of the partners that people that are trying other advocates on board and the worker and who know take the worker again through a Donald Trump administration because you have been first or like the benefit from that.
Okay, so, Dr. Toto.
Yeah.
Quickly here, let me ask you, so I'll go back here and you guys can still be there. I know you just left. I say left. I'm not sure what your current position is. Is there any specific committee embedded within Yula that addresses this issue? Do you know, or can you tell us off record how many undocumented Liberians? Does anybody have that figure?
When at that time when our dealership in Yula, when we used to go back to Washington D.C. every year to advocate for Liberia, that would be deported. The number that they gave for at that time, it was between 5,000 to 6,000 Liberians.
5,000
to 5,000 to 6,000 Liberians at that time.
How many years now? You know? You remember?
That was around before Donald Trump Or first term. That was
First
during
term.
Obama time, because the last time we marched to Washington D.C. to advocate for Liberia not to be deported was during Obama 2 term, and that number was staggering. But what they told us was that number will have declined because some people may have changed their status, and also some people may have died at that time. So they're not so particular, they're not so too sure about the number, but are the figure that they gave at that time.
So
during President Trump's first term, we also staged a march to go to Washington D.C. and then we have our Vero or CLT or Atla or Katama and other guys on the working behind the scene. And before we got a good news that Donald Trump already or Jack Rito or that, or they already put the advocates, the immigration, so the defense bill, and Donald Trump has signed it, and we should cover Liberia.
No, so I don't know whether that blanket is still over or that's $1 million questions. But do you know?
Yeah.
Okay, since then, let me bring in Dr. Malik. But even up to the time you were actively involved, you still don't know how many persons benefited from that defense act and how many persons in question, because we're seeing proliferations of lists going here, 1005, 110 with name, addresses, age, location.
I don't know how many people benefited from that defense act bill. But I can go Shiro or Shiro leadership at that time. They call, I think since we are part of that community, they have Zoom meeting, the people to reach out to the community. They have people that will help fill out the application for. We just pay the amount of money, but people that didn't want to be able to pay the money.
Okay, all right, Dr. Mali. Hey, Mr. Bakon, good evening. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So, Dr. Malik, you're listening to, politics is a little bit diminishing tonight here, but somehow we'll squeeze it in here because it's examiner. So we got to examine. People are going to walk away with 375,000. So we don't know the essence. What is the rationale behind that? But Dr. Malik.
Yeah, thank you, CEO. Welcome, Mr. Bako.
Thank you,
I think, to be sincere here, Eula is on the defense. Eula have failed to defend its own reputation. As a matter of fact, Eula is suffering from vision problem. There's no vision, and therefore we are perishing in this country. In the first place, Eula had never appeared in my state before to have a conference with a Liberian Community Association or to even ask a question. Jeremy, hi is we just drop out to say hi. Those are simple ABC leadership strategy. Eula hasn't done it. Eula's fundamental objective here is to train Liberians in their rank and file for government job. That's Eula's function right there. All right. While it's true that the immigration issue is a private issue, has Eula come up with a database to say, oh, we can feed the senators around here. Oh, we can feed the Liberian government back home. These are our brothers. These are the situation. Has that been done? That may not even be done because the issue of confidentiality. People don't have confidence in Eula. You see? And these things are confidential issues. All right? So database is very key in this whole thing. You don't want to function when crisis is on the head top. What kind of organization are you? Always on the defense? When something happens, like the only time you act. Other than that, you don't act. Okay? There's the Roman from time immemorial. Eula is suffering from transparency and accountability problem. You know that, I know that. So how you expect people to take you serious? The whole venture that Eula is on, trust me, is going to fall straight on the rock again, and nothing going to come out of it. Going to Washington and demonstrating, it's not an answer. It's not a strategy. Not at all. You see? It's not at all. So Eula will continue to be on the defense from time to time until Eula can capture a vision how to work around.
Somebody listening, please mute your microphone if you're
Yeah.
listening. Go ahead, Dr. John.
So for you not to even come out and tell me how many Liberians in this country, how many Liberians came here during the Civil War? How many Liberians been here before the Civil War? These are the databases you use as a tools to engage your people. All those things, they are conspicuously missing in your rank and file, because your objective is to produce leadership to go in Liberia and get on taxpayer payroll. That's sad. Thank you, Mr. President, CEO.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So,
Now, hold your peace because another barrage is coming. Since you're here, even though I don't know what the president is saying you, I'm going to put up with the first family of you last. So just hold your peace, maybe back on. Trust me, you're going to eye on his low arm, Dr. Malley, then you can respond.
But CEO, I forgot one point. Can I just add it in?
Oh, okay. Let's see. What's that?
The URA membership, people call themselves diaspora. They go to Liberia, they have already opened office in the foreign affairs. When we were on refugee camp, I stayed in refugee camp for 16 years. I visited 7 refugee camps, all right? The news was national of that country were buying slots. Ghanaians were buying slots to come as Liberians. And so the people fly, they go to Liberia, they call themselves diaspora, all right? Even the original diaspora, we're not even on those lists. And they're co-conspirators, all right, backing them up. We need to evaluate that whole diaspora thing. We can get foreigners going to Liberia, calling themselves diaspora. Then when they go to Ghana, they call themselves Ghanaians. We know the secret, all right? These are some of the double standards of EULA. We will not continue to operate like this. The new generation going to rise up, Mr. Nangwe.
Okay. Mr. Bacon, let's hear you quickly, then Nambo will respond.
Well, thank you. I'm late because Julie called. The Nima County has some program tonight, and I'll be on the program. So that's why I'm a bit late. However, I want to say thanks to the Liberian Public Radio. January 29, making my first year anniversary on the show. So I will say thank you for having me.
Without champagne.
So I just want to say thank you for having me here. You know, put over some of my behavior and some of my analysis. When I agree with me or someone that agree with me, and so I said thank you. I mean,
congratulations.
Thank you. The topic, I listened to that Mali. I might have a disagreement with you, and I agree with you on a certain point. On the demonstration, yeah, the demonstration benefited some of us today when the war started. Some of us were not in Liberia at that time. We just came to America, and we used to meet at the Methodist Church on Broad Street in Providence here. And we went to Washington, D.C., and we demonstrated that how can TPS came about. From TPS, they keep extending the TPS until some of us will be able to get our green card today, and some of us become citizens. So the demonstration have, provide some pathway to citizenship or green card, whatever you want to put it. So the demonstration have benefited. But when it comes to EULA on the issue, EULA is weak, and all EULA have ended because when I can talk with you, I didn't talk with you with the president. Sam Colley then was these were the leaders at a time when I came to Rhode Island. And today, EULA, I don't know about EULA so much, but EULA need to revitalize herself to see for her position within the Liberian community. I mean, when it comes to repetition, the repetition is bad. Let's put it that way.
It's bad. What a description.
But
Victor
Mr. Baku, did I hear you say you because you just gave some information that I didn't expect you to give out, especially when you want to work in Liberia. So you got to be careful.
I'm not denying it. When I go to Liberia, I say I'm a citizen of America. I'm not denying it. I'm a U.S. citizen.
Okay. I just wanted to put that out there because
No, I'm not denying it. I'm a U.S. citizen. When I go there, I get visa to go to Liberia. Why would I have it? I'm a Liberian citizen. I'm an American citizen.
Yeah, man, and bow.
Because there are certain jobs you won't get. There are certain jobs you citizenship.
So be it.
I'm waiting.
Yeah.
So be it.
just to add a layer to what Mr. Bacon and even said, yes, we all have worked for ULI services, election commission, blah blah blah.
Right.
Recently, yeah, twice. Recently, I multiple times, and I want to know, have the current ULI established any contact with Erasmus Williams, who is the president's designate? I don't know whether it's ambassadorial level or whether coordination, something
Right.
for the diaspora. Correct. Are
Right.
you spoken with this is the organization as a whole spoken with this gentleman?
I have on numerous occasions, but let me say this: Dr. Mali, he does have some points, but some of his assertions are unfounded. I think this is one of those who need to come a little closer to Yola. I think he's speaking of Yola of 10, 20 years past. Dr. Toto, who were just on the phone here, Emmanuel Wetty, there are a lot of people here who have labored for Yola. First of all, everybody who works for Yola is working on pro bono. Nobody gets paid. We all have our daytime jobs. But Yola is going to be as strong as all of us, all Liberians, allow it to be, including all of us here on the set. Nobody here is excluded from Yola. Come and put in your quota. Come and contribute your talent. When, and what has Dr. Mali offered to do for Yola? And Yola said no, nothing. I can't think so. This thing he's talking about diaspora, I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. But a lot of what today we have dual citizenship. Mr. Bagon just talked about the TPS. Yes, there were marches. Some of these, I never, when this was happening, some of us were not even anywhere near the Yola. And like I said, most of what Dr. Mali is narrating is of the Yola of the past. But in recent times, I think some real genuine efforts have been made. But Liberians in general are apathetic. We are very, very, very much difficult to come together and work together. We always identify the negatives as opposed to identifying the positives and accentuating the positives. And I think this is what really hurts us. But I will encourage all of us here. Come in. It is open. I mean, the umbrella is big. Let us come in and contribute our quota. Now, Mr. Erasmus Williams, here is what is happening. The government of Liberia, besides several other offices that have the diaspora coordinator, for some reason, it is the big thing now in government. Almost every government institution has a diaspora affairs coordinator. The Ministry of State has a diaspora affairs coordinator that Erasmus Williams is heading. But the Ministry of Foreign Affairs also has a diaspora person who is Mr. Charles Boyman Blake. And both of them they coordinated this recent diaspora Liberia annual return. But like I said, we have conversations with Erasmus. What happened is Dr. Clarice Ford Cooler of Atlanta, she was the one tapped to head this particular initiative, this diaspora. I don't want to bore you with the details, but Erasmus, we had conversations. We had a difference of opinion on how to proceed with this particular program, and this is why we decided, look, you guys go ahead. This is going to be an annual thing. It's going to be a yearly thing. Hopefully, we all begin working together when this one ends, and we all understand how we're moving forward. But we understand what Erasmus is doing. We in general.
What is he doing? Because the reason I'm asking, I myself have reached out multiple times, including confronting him here. So when the when the president came,
Okay.
like people should not be begging you. You all should be begging and reaching out.
Right.
I know when the campaign were on 24/7, you were calling, we were talking. Now, and that's a common thing of a Liberian. When they get a position, then that's it. However, you have been given a task by the President of the Republic of Liberia. We need to know the details. It's not just something you carrying the title in out. No, you need to tell us. We need to have a conversation. So what will your role be? You have to sell. The president have given you a task. You need to unfold that vision and how it's going to look like. But they always like to.
And that and what you are expressing is exactly one of our concerns. We think there has to be a little bit more openness to what is happening. We don't know too much about what Erasmus is doing, but what we do know from the conversations we had with him. Look, the idea is this: the Nigerians have dated December, where from December 1 to December 31st, the Nigerians who are able to go home are encouraged to go home and pump their money into the Nigerian economy. The Ghanaians have, I think, dated December or December to remember, one of the two. They do the same thing. We want to do likewise for Liberia. Mr. So, you and myself now, our children and even our children's children are growing up. We have to bring our children and make Liberia their destination number one around the Christmas season. There's no other reason why we shouldn't do that. Last year, all of us here in the diaspora, we put over $800 million in the Liberian economy. That's a lot of money. We want to encourage diaspora Liberians, make Liberia your number one destination. Tourism, let's help our country. In spite of all of our disagreements we may have with the government, all of that, but let's help the economy. Private partnership. Bring in your money, put it in the hotels, put it in Calabash, put it in whatever, but help somebody in the country make a little dollar or two between December 1 to December 31st. That is the general objective of this program. While we're doing that, then we will be collaborating with government. Mr. President, how can we help with tourism? Mr. President, how can we help with investment? During this particular diaspora return, there were several events that were mapped out almost every day. There was an investment session at the ministerial complex. There was a diaspora forum. There were cultural performances. There was a lot that was going on. And we want to be a part of it next year. But like you said, we had some questions over the rollout. And we're hoping that this will be clarified as time goes on. But we encourage all of us, in spite of your differences, bring them to the table where we can address them. So we can make headways. But we have a responsibility as Liberians in the diaspora to your country. Bring in your $2 and spend it into Liberia. Don't go to Puerto Rico, or don't go to Mexico, or don't go to Nigeria, or don't go to Ghana. Go to Monrovia. That is the objective.
Mr. Nangwe, I got a question for you.
Yes.
Can I hold on one sec, Dr. Mali? I'm going to come. We are already out of time. Let me just go to the line and give Dr. Toto Prince. Prince, 1 minute, please. Just wrap it up. We are out of time. Let's hear you.
Dr. Toto is coming back, or that his friend?
Yes, sir. I listened to the studio guests talking about, Liberians spending money out of Liberia. Look, when the country is attractive, when you have those things that will attract Liberians back to Liberia, you have to tell nobody, or you don't have to tell anybody to go to Liberia, to go to Puerto Rico.
I agree with you. Absolutely. I agree with you.
It's fortunate that what we are seeing, and we must say thanks to the real-led administration for this whole bicentenary celebration. They did a very fine work and put in place the necessary mechanism. Now, what we are expecting is that this government will make use of what His Excellency President Dr. George Manawiya Fomo set in motion to see how best they can be able to, improve on it. But again, let's be very straight here. I see people trying to sugarcoat and trying to look. I have colleagues of mine, friends of mine that have called our brother Erasmo on several occasions on some of these issues. The young brother has refused to pick up his phone and he looked at that particular position to be a political position. And this is where the government is supposed to come in. I know people are beating on Yola. I am not really a kind of, fan of Yola like that. But again, Yola, despite of their own ups and downs, I think they have made some great strides. But again, we all know what the government of His Excellency President Dr. George Manawiya did during the Trump administration. We saw that there were Liberians, who organized themselves, and then the government played a very pivotal role in extending the TPS stuff. All of us know of that. But it's unfortunate that this particular government, and we must say it because we have the foreign affairs, we have the foreign department that is responsible for some of these things. It is unfortunate that this government is doing absolutely nothing to be able to work along with Liberian organizations. Recently, they had a diaspora return where, our young brother Erasmo was appointed as the head or whatever, and we appreciate that. But the thing is, what are they doing? Are they only there for celebration? People went there and they have big celebration. Now is the time that these kind of things supposed to show up, or the government is supposed to show up. That is what these diaspora, whatever it is for, or whatever it is established for, it is now time that they begin to make intervention. We expect our brother Erasmo to be on the line 24 hours with all of these organizations, like, for example, the head of the GGAA, the head of Yola, the head of whatever organization, to be online with them to ensure that they can be able to work along with them. The government has the resources. The government is one of the biggest institutions that can make significant impact in this whole thing that we are talking. We talk for G to G. Remember when President Weah was the president, he talked about G to G.
Okay,
This is what G
Franz,
to G
thank you
is
so
about.
much. Let me
So
bring in
where is
Dr.
that G
Tutu.
to G built?
All right, thank you so much. Dr. Tutu,
Yeah.
let's hear you.
Just a very good discussion. Just to throw back on Dr. Also the point that Dr. Drew was making in terms of ULA applications and all the immigration process of the database and all of it. Look, we have a complex Nigerian society. For what ULA has done in the past in terms of advocacy for immigration, like I said, is one of the best advocacy that today we are enjoying dual citizenship that was through the effort of ULA to lobby to get dual citizenship for Liberia. What the issue of database whereby the Eric Johnson study was president and our chairman was the chairman of the board ULA at that time. Through the embassy of Liberia and the IOM, they try to do a database to do the total number of Liberia in Americas. And we set a satellite location where there was a lot of awareness went on for people to come on to identify themselves. They have registered people. And in terms of they were fully attended. We had a center in Washington, D.C., we had another center in Philadelphia, another center was set in California, and another center was set in Rhode Island, in Dr. Valley, to host it. And those chambers were full attended and become political. People say that President Johnson said it connecting Nigeria with deported. People pass the information from one place to another, and people never attend to put their deal on the kind of the total number of Liberian diaspora. So these are the type of people that we are talking about. On the issue of the immigration of TPS, every year we used to march to go to Washington, D.C. Even the war was fighting to go advocate for Liberia, not to go backward. Today, Liberia are working to go to Washington, D.C. again, through Donald Trump's first administration. And like I say again, it's saying that Mr. Nagel and other people need to know the right people to reach out to some of our strong supporters for ULA people like Dr. Charlie Reeve and other people who know they are in Congress. They are in the same thing here. We have some good friends out there. And I hope and I believe that they can make something good happening in the immigration advocacy for Nigeria that facing deportation right now. Or is that out here?
All right.
We should just say that them shit the making on ULA that they have been done before. The ULA of yesterday is not the ULA of today. Just to get close on that.
Okay, as usual.
Thank you, Dr. Tutu. I just want a quick correction.
Yeah,
very much.
There are some.
I can add number 1 second. Liberal,
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Look, the mayor of ULA, Liberian leadership in America, and that of Liberian leadership in Liberia, it's no different. The only difference here is many of the Liberian leadership in the U.S. are educated, all business people doing well for themselves. They are not stealing. That amounts to different. But in terms of finding ideas and bringing people together, they don't have it. This particular issue here is going to affect every Liberian community, most likely. Now, you have 15 countries in Liberia. You have leadership should by now be able to identify 15 human beings to be assigned to each of the counties. And most of the counties, they have organization. You can't have, you have no strength. Your strength is based on the county organization. The county organization is strength based on the district organization. The district organization based on whatever clan or whatever membership they have. So in order for you to reach out, truly reach out, you have to reach out to each of the county leadership and ask for a meeting. They will accept that. They will put people together and have a meeting. They want to hear from you. But if you think some people are going to gravitate to you, you got nothing to offer. What enough for you?
Okay.
The people in the country leadership are doing much more better than you are yourself. And it's silent to say the people in the districts of each of the countries are doing much better than the country leadership themselves. Because why? The failure started from Europe and they started percolating towards the county. So most of these people, county membership, are now gravitating towards a district organization where they can have a serious impact in what is happening in Liberia. District organizations are now building schools all over Liberia, in each of these counties, many of these counties. So in order for you to be impactful, I would suggest that they reach out to each of the county leadership, not to have a county all Liberia conference. It's not going to work. Go in, identify 15 individuals that will be willing to work for you. And let them engage each of the individuals being assigned to a county.
So
let them engage the
So
county.
let me speak directly to that caller, right? I'm sorry I didn't get your name.
In district organization.
Libra.
District organization is not for even you know yourself.
Libra, hello?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So,
All right.
What is the criteria? What is the method? How would these people, who is that EULA going to identify that, is it?
No. You are first of all identify within yourself. Members of EULA leadership. They should come up with 15 individuals.
How?
So can you? Well, but they have their leadership structure. And the leadership
No, we don't know. Help us.
have some sort of a committee. So okay, this committee, you guys are responsible to either act the county leadership. And each of the members that they're going to select or be member of that committee, 15 of them.
Lpr-Tv will not survive nowhere.
So Gabriel, let me tell you this. Stay on the line, Gabriel. Let me tell you this.
Something too. You need something too.
Each of the county.
Hey man, the night will go by without you talking Tabata. It's a total development.
You don't have no strength. Both people that they got nothing.
Oh, is that a liberal talking?
You got nothing to offer.
You're not being structured.
You're not saying 1982.
Okay, my phone battery is dying.
You're not saying 1982.
My phone battery is dying.
I tell you, we're having a meeting. The board is having a meeting. The board is going to have a meeting with a Chinese phone. But how you going to talk to the board chairman and say about that? We're going to have a meeting on.
All right, bye-bye. My phone battery is dying.
Don't forget your juice bottle, liberal. But let me say this.
Now we're drinking juice here tonight.
Let me say what, yeah. So, and like I said, like I said earlier, so I'm not, we don't make it a secret. We have had tremendous pushback from various Liberian organizations, and for the same reason that I stated earlier, that we came into office with a trust deficit, and this has been going for a while. We're admitting that. There are a lot of people who want to have nothing to do with the union. We get it. I belong in several organizations. I'm from Maryland County. If you even put up an announcement in the county chat room, people battle you and try to take it out. We don't want to do anything with EULA here. So, and I like the suggestions. Some of these I'm going to take back to my fellows, but some of these that are being proposed here have already been tried. We're having difficulties getting people to get interested in the union. That is a fact. And because of some of the things that happened in the past, we understand that. But all of these complaints, they will not do anything for the union. He's talking about since 1982. That was before Joseph Boaga was born, 1982. So that was like a long time ago. But we all need to come to the table and bring our ideas to the table. The union is open for business. We want everybody to come in and give advice and give their talent and help move the union forward, because you know why? The union is the umbrella organization of all Liberians here in the U.S. If the union is made to be functional, I think it would be easier for us to address our people's problems. But when you invite people to the meetings, nobody wants to come to the meeting. You put people in the chat room, they get out. Where we go to disseminate information. You can't force people and say, you got to stay here. You can't do that. We can only appeal to people. And of course, we have to be attractive for people who want to be a part of us. So it's a catch-22 thing. But we're working seriously. Come to this meeting tomorrow. Bring your questions. Let's see how we can begin to revive this union. It's all we're saying. And this is an appeal. Come on board, Dr. Mali. Come on board, Mr. Collins. Come on board, Laborer. Leave the juice bottle. Come on board. You know, bring your ideas. Make the union.
Mr. Nangwe, Mr. Nangwe,
yes, sir.
The representative you have in Liberia was he elected by the EULA and sent down there, or it's strictly a political appointment?
I had no idea we have a representative in Liberia. Who is it?
Oh, don't you have an office?
No, we don't.
You don't have EULA office at the foreign ministry?
That is fake information, Dr. Jones.
I read it on the website, Executive Mansion website. They get their logo there.
We don't have an office in Liberia. That's fake news.
Okay. Then my last question now, is it true that EULA is preparing to establish a political party in Liberia?
That's fake news.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so I think we are already over the time, but politics is much lesser this evening because of this whole counter beat. But it was good. Nambe, you came, and like I said, bombarded phone calls, feedbacks. In fact, to some extent, it was Sister Goya who intervened. He said, Mr. So is trying to reach out to you. I'm like, come on. I call you. I sent you a message. I will understand people are busy, but at least within the 24-hour to something hour window, get back. Until you call 1, 3 o'clock, like, hey, I'm not calling to beg you, but you were given a task, as a matter of fact, to do a favor to make your function more viable, so that we know your vision, so that we know your role. Unless you say you were just only appointed as here to stay in Minnesota, you don't want to do anything with the East Coast and other places, that is okay. And that's what Prince was talking about. How long now? The president gave you the task. And he says,
so let me say this. Let me say
a meeting. But
let me say this quick.
Office.
Yes. Let me say this quickly, Mr. So Erasmus was in Minnesota. He ran for office in Yola. He didn't succeed. Does this mean he's a little bit partial against Yola? It is possible. You know, he has his own hangups about Yola. But notwithstanding, you know, he's a younger fellow, he's a younger brother. He can use a lot of advice. I think what you're saying here, you're not the first person saying that. And that is something we intend to reach out to him for, because the role he's playing, along with my he was appointed by the government.
But that's why I'm telling you, you keep denying. I said the man came into being.
But he is not there as a EULA representative.
He's not there for EULA representative as a government of Liberia.
He's not a EULA representative. This is the appointee of the government of Liberia. He works in the executive mansion.
So he liaising with you people?
That's the assistant minister position.
Yes, he has an appointment letter. He carried the rank of a deputy minister. He attends cabinet meetings. But he is not a EULA representative. However, he is supposed to coordinate. You remember the president saying he will engage robustly with the diaspora. You know, the president's AIA agenda of $8.4 billion, 40% of that money is supposed to come from here. So they're depending on us to help.
Wait a minute now, Nangbe. How 40% of that money will come from here when half of us don't have people to work and build our economic capacity?
Dr. Mali, you're attacking the messenger. I'm just telling you what is
Nangbe. Mr. Nangbe, this is a dream. It's a dream.
But anyway, so
Dr. Mali, how will you say that?
According to that writer, they depend
look at our brother now. Those who not worrying about their paper business, you saying they're supposed to go invest. I will go invest when I think about my life and my family's safety. Then the budget coming from a government that's saying 40% of that budget going to come from the diaspora, when we're not even united around here in the first place. When some people even calling that diaspora, they are foreigner calling themselves Liberian, all those fake people. All those kind of things in the pocket, they say 40% want to come from. Are you sure?
So I'm telling you, Dr. Mali, this is according to the write-up. This is what they expect.
No, you are rational man.
Dr. Mali.
You believe in
that? Give me a minute now. Give me a minute.
Believe in that thing?
Okay,
Give me a minute.
guys, we are out of
Why
time.
wouldn't I give you a minute? Look, it
Okay,
is a
saying you
fact.
said this is
Go
a
ahead,
new
Dr.
EULA.
Male.
Wait a minute,
Dr.
you said
Male.
this is a
Give
new
me a minute.
EULA.
Dr. Male.
I want
Give
for
me a
EULA
minute.
to take advantage of all the
Give
social
me a-
media platform here that they
Dr.
clear
Male,
the
give me
air.
a minute. Give me a minute. So I put a link in the chat room there because one actual share was questioning my assertion that we sent $800 million to Liberia in 2023. The link is in there. The statistics are there. If you send $800 million, if you do that over a 5-year program, which is the time of the program,
Right.
if you multiply $800
That's what I
million by
was just
5,
about to
that's
say.
over $4 billion you're talking about. It's not that they expect you to give them the money, but I just told you, go to Monrovia during your December break, go and spend the money in the economy. That's the money I'm talking about. I'm not talking about you
Simple as
taking money
that.
and giving it to the
Hold on
government
a
of
minute.
Liberia.
How will go spend the money in the economy when the streets are not safe? Okay.
How do you think the street will
How
get
you
paid?
going on the place? They
How do you
hijacking
think the
there.
money will come from to pay the
The
street?
place is secure. The security is fragile. They say spend money
Okay.
in the system.
All right, guys. All right. I think we
All
had a long
Corruption
Thank you, Mr.
up.
So.
Corruption is up running. How you go spend money in that kind of system? How?
All right.
Please
Back
tell
on, Terry.
Yura to take advantage of Lpr-Tv. We get a lot of questions for them. You'll come. All of y'all.
That one network, they don't when you ask them, the very few they will set up time and they can't show up.
So during our inauguration, I work with Mr. So. We try to negotiate, but we intend to make LPR one of our destination stations. You guys have done well. You know, FOL. You know, we're in talks with it. We'll come and negotiate with most of these stations. We have to put a message out, but you have to come and pay your due, Dr. Mali. We don't have money. We got to pay these people.
Okay, this is one
we got to pay.
for you.
Let me finish now. You got to wait interrupting. Let me finish. When you come to NPR and say, come and cover my program, you got at least, they're not going to ask you, but you have to be able to provide gasoline. When you go to FOL, you do the same thing. We have to be able to do that. If we can't afford that, then it will be difficult for us to invite independent voices like, you know, Liberia Public Radio.
You are suffocated. I see.
But notwithstanding, we encourage yourselves, you know, come on board and you know, let's
I have two suggestions for you.
Hold on, Dr. Mali.
Yeah,
have you attended any before your suggestion here? Let's your own baby. Have you attended any to UNA function before?
UNA don't even know me.
Have you may have said no to Eula and Eula rejected you?
I don't even know whether Eula is around. Just been hearing in the air. Eula connection with Liberian.
I live here, man. Let me talk about Tabata tonight, man.
All right. I got two suggestions for Mr. Nangbe. Saying he said this is a new Nangbe now. This is a new organization. One.
Is that your closing statement? 1 minute.
Yeah, it's my closing statement. Okay. One, if you don't want me to pay money or market themselves to me, your financial statement, put it on your website. The credibility of money payment and money eating business in our group is high. I got to see that one. Two, in the various state, no, I come in now, don't shake your head. In the various state, just appoint one Liberian in every state to be URI representative there, to be coordinating things in that state. I think that one way ULA can create some credibility. That financial statement there, it got to go in your website. Someone got to see it so that our mind is disabused that you're not just there eating money.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Can I speak to that?
No, you can't speak to that. That's a suggestion.
He finished closing. You want to close down too, or
no? I just wanted to let him know what he's saying there is already happening. Every state has a chapter leader. I don't know which state he's in, but there is a representative in most of the states. Some states are
representative in Rhode Island.
Also, all of our information is on the website as well. When he's asking us there, he just hasn't taken the time to take a look.
Let the other folks make their closing statement.
Absolutely.
Mr. Collins, back on. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, let me go first. I think the foreign ministry need to respond to what is coming out, even though we don't know whether if these 1,500 people are authentic. So we don't know yet, but I think the foreign ministry need to respond. And if it is proving that there is 1,500 expected to be in the country on the deportation list, I think the president need to speak to that. I don't think they need to wait for it to happen before they speak to that. Like most presidents right now, based upon some of the executive orders signed by President Trump, that they know that are going to affect them, they are speaking. So I think the president need to speak in regards to the deportation aspect, the aspect of what his name, my brother from the CDC talking about, oh, president, we are did that day. I don't know about that one, but in this time around, I think the government need to put all hands on deck, because we need to understand that things are shifting, and we also need to help EULA. In as much as there have been a bad leadership, one leadership cannot be determined that the entire organization is not capable to work anymore forever. I think Liberians have this notion of destroying good things. We don't support it, but because we don't support it, we think that it's not good. So the best way we can contribute is to destroy it. I don't want to agree with Dr. Mali in that regards, or especially with him not. He just stated that he don't have no understanding about how the organization running, but then he denigrating the organization and painting all kinds of allegations on the organization, which I think is unfair to the organization and should not be done. This is a Liberian something. So we all need to, in as much as there were bad leadership, we can progress from where we started. And I think that is what we need to focus on. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Bacon.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Sorry that I came in late, but I mean, it's an interesting conversation tonight. I'm in the middle of it. When it comes to EULA, I have my own personal reservation when it comes to EULA. Hopefully, EULA will refine herself and see where they are. That's one of the things, as a leader, that sometimes you make mistakes, and like Colin Powell said, when you broke it, you owned it. EULA have broken it, she owned it. Let her stand up as an organization and see. But when it comes to the deputy minister position, who is a coordinator, I mean, it's not a flamboyant position. It is not a flamboyant position. It is a unique position. It's a great responsibility to say, yes, I'm the coordinator for the diaspora. That's not just one. It's not only the United States. It's not just the United States. It's all over the world. You are the ambassador for the rest of the world to coordinate with the president and say, these are the things, excuse me, these are the things the president did. Mr. So you can attest to that. When he came here, arrogance say don't work. Arrogance say don't work. You are a public servant. And second thing is you don't have to get tape on your shoulder. Anything people say you get agitated. That's not how it works. I interacted with him when he came to Rhode Island. And I'm the chairperson for the Boca movement in Rhode Island, just by my connection with the president, but I'm still a chairperson. And his demeanor, to me, as a chairperson, he knows that, was very disrespectful. And I told him. So these are things we're talking about. All we want here is the administration to be successful. Just about me for me to get joined Liberia. I'm okay. I mean, I can go to Liberia, come by anytime I want to come by. Okay, I don't need job in Liberia. I will survive. But it's our country, because most of who on the platform, we have different professions. That's what I love LPR. We got doctor, we got nurse, we got reverend, we got journalist, we got liberal, we got consecutive on the show.
Out of 12 political parties, you pray for what party?
No, listen, I didn't pray for one party. I said
a reverend.
Oh,
I pray for one party.
So that's what make LPR.
The only party I don't pray for is CDC.
There you go.
That's the only party I don't.
Why you want to gain redemption?
They can be redeemed because they're not even making move to redemption. They say they're saying that because Unity Party government failed, so they should come back to power.
Okay,
Everything I was saying about them was lie.
Then you come to your own automata.
Let me
Sorry, Mr.
close by
Bacon,
saying
go
this.
ahead.
Let me say back. Let me say by saying this. You see, demonization is not going to help us, especially those who always come and say they want to defend what's his name, George Manovia, a former president. In his man own word, in his own mouth, the diaspora, we are enemy to the state. Are you kidding me? Look at what our brother just put on the website. They're spite. The diaspora will build Liberia. We the only person that can build Liberia. And that's what is a fact. We will not want to do it, but it is a fact. And we can do it because we have the expertise. I'm not putting down our people back home, but we are live a different lifestyle. And we hope we can go back home and let the people open their eyes and open their hands to receive us. Mr. Namwe, great job doing it, to reach out, to, keep preaching. But it is about time for us to open our hands when those that want to go home. And when we go home, let her be received on a good faith. That's one of the problems. So we can talk to the diaspora, but at the same time, we need to talk to our people back home. Let them receive us as a brother that returning. Now, we are not the enemies. Thank you.
Okay, Terry, quickly, then
Mr. So, if the people can, maybe if CDC can have a stand-up barrel like Mr. Cummings, or maybe another person, I can pray for them. But now,
hold on. Let me answer. Hold on. Let me answer the person. Mr. Somebody just wrote it. Mr. Jerry Bagon versus Joe Norrie. Joe Norrie is a chairperson for the New England State. I'm the chairperson for Rhode Island. So let me make it clear. Probably you're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm the chairperson for Rhode Island. He's a chairperson for the whole New England State. Thank you.
You can pray for people who can acknowledge they're wrong. If I did wrong, I have to acknowledge it. But if I can't acknowledge my wrong, then how can I repent? How can I say, oh yeah?
Is that how God says all?
But that's what I'm saying now. If you got to come to the people and tell the people, say, my people, I did wrong to you. The thing I did was not good. And that's why Joseph Boga said. Joseph Boga said we squander opportunities. We did things that were not right. So I'm begging you, give me the chance. Now, CDC is saying they don't even need to say anything. President Weah is popular, and the former government lied on them, and everything they did was true. They didn't take money from the coffer. They didn't do on anything. Everything that Unity Party said, but then was a lie. That was CDC saying. So, do you believe that? Do you believe what they say, that everything they did in the country, the people lie on them?
Man of God, that's wrong.
Well, that's a matter of my own position.
You can crucify one sinner and elevate one sinner. Pray for all sinners.
Oh yeah, we pray for all sinners, but we pray for myself. I'm a sinner. Nobody is perfect. But what I'm saying is that you must learn how to admit to some of your errors. If Joseph Boga today act crazy, tomorrow I will not support him. I will say, look, Papa, you mess up, and I cannot support you.
That what the Bible said?
Huh?
That what the Bible said?
Oh, this is not religious aspect we're talking. The Bible says, God forgive your sin for heaven, eternity.
Why you always do this?
All right.
When it comes to the survivability of human beings, it depends on your leadership ability. You are just talking to Mr. Nangwe. You say Mr. Nangwe is not going to be successful. In fact, the whole ULA will not be successful. Why did you say that? You said that
you don't get a track record. Mr. Nangwe just made a correction here. No. Mr. Nangwe just made a correction here that it's a new brand ULA.
Thank you so much.
That why I gave him a suggestion, right? He said there's a new brand ULA.
So, but I see we are giving suggestions to CDC.
No, you said
if they can make some amends, we can recommend them.
Gentlemen, we can't do this.
CDC too.
Let Terry is making his final statement. Let him do what they're done with it. We gotta go. Terry, you done?
Huh? Yeah, I'm done.
Okay, Mr. Nambwe, let's hear you.
Thank you very much, Mr. So, and thank you all very much. I like the feedback, Dr. Mali, Terry, even Mr. Bachman. Look, we started off here when I came on. We were talking about the county meet, and I'll be quick about it. I know we've been over time. But there are things we can do as Liberians. Never mind, your perception of the current government. This government is failing on several levels. I am one of the critical voices, against this government because I believe they can do better, and we will not stop until they do better by our people. But notwithstanding, there are things we can also do as Liberians. For instance, I said when I got on the show tonight, we could have done more for the county teams that are competing in the league. We could have spent the money directly to the teams managing these teams. We didn't have to send it to government, and that's something we should look into. In that light, there are things we can do as diaspora Liberians. The government is struggling for money. Yes, they're wasting the money in several different ways. Paying a Losher Talu, humongous amount of money and paying some more at the same time. That's wrong. We should tell the government that is wrong. But notwithstanding, there are things that we can do. Take your money in December. Nobody will stop you from going to Calabash and sitting down there and having a soft drink. That's money you're spending in the economy. When you leave, that money will pay somebody, child, who will pay and who will feed a whole family. We are saying go and spend your money in Liberia when we want a vacation. Think Liberia first. Forget Mexico. Forget Puerto Rico. Forget, Dominican Republic. Yes, I understand there are security concerns, all of that. But that's because most of these things are because the people are hungry and they're struggling. They're looking for ways to make a living. I'm not saying I condone what is happening, but the people are struggling. I go to Murrayville all the time. Only this year I didn't go. Sometimes I go twice a year. Everywhere you go, somebody open your door. They got Papi with you. Our dad with you. They're all over the place. They're hungry. We have to help. Is all I'm saying. This is not about Boaka. It's not about Wea. I support the Cummings in this going election. I'm not a Wea president. I'm not a Boaka president. But Boaka is the president of the Republic of Liberia now, and we have to support the government because if they succeed, Liberia wins.
Right.
We can't wish evil on them. We can't wish for them to fail because then 5 million people are going to fail. So we should do our part. So some of the suggestions you made tonight, I would take some of them back, but some of them I urge you to come aboard. I know you've also been talking behind the scenes. The question about Erasmus, I have someone who has his ear. I will let him know too. I will let him get some of the feedback. A lot of people are complaining, but he's a young fellow too. But these are things that we can all work on to improve, the situation. Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, for me, not actually complaining, but when you are given a public assignment, you must have, and what Mr. Barker said, they must say how they are, including the Kula for fun. I like, hey, the way you treat other folks, generally everybody, you don't come and I was invited here. Even if you don't invite me, we as a network, as long as the president is visiting, we have to do it. We have to follow the protocols, but you are not going to regulate me. Don't do the 10 left, 10 right. No, I'm not a toy to come and do that. And he understood where I was coming from. I reached out for the good because he's been given an assignment. How long has it been? And it was on the basis I was asking that question. He just called a few days ago, and I come back, like, okay, when you come back again, we will call. Why? Because we need the information. We need to go after the information. And this is how the failures of administration comes about. And then we blame the president. And we blame the president because when people are given tasks and they are not delivering and they just sit down there and the thing is just for exhibition, then we will frown on that. Because there's a reason I believe the president assigned such a position, not just only the embassy, but to create some sort of coordinations and maybe the government itself explains agenda. That's the easier way to transmit information to the ordinary citizen. And then to the embassy. I think it's just to enhance coordination of exchange of information. But you see them when they get these things, then they're over the world. And it is. Prince, he was talking about it was the same thing. When we are coming here, when they come here, they just talk to only people who they feel that they are comfortable with. They go to whatever the term as, whether CDC network, they go there, they talk. And they think you're going to alienate people because if you don't spread that information, then that's how people fill in those gaps and give it their own interpretation because you were unwilling to come to be given this opportunity. But we will not do that. We'll always reach out when they don't understand. We will say it so that it goes on the record. But guys, Lofart was a big day for Lofart. We will say congratulations for the big win. Yes, Mr. Bako.
We gotta stop that thing in Liberia. In fact, I was just talking to somebody. Anytime the president offered a team, oh, when Joe, our president, the article is there, Grand Crew won the championship. So look, we got to stop some things. Let's.
So are you saying they sold the game or what?
No. Listen, there's statistics. You can Google the statistics and stuff.
Yeah, you are
That's
security man. You say
talk about it another day. I don't want to start another thing that will stay for another 30 minutes. So that's
that the public bought the
Jerry,
I didn't look I want to keep watching too.
Mr. Nambwe,
Yeah,
what is coming our way from Jerry background? We need to take that. We need to stop.
I got to ask Liberal if he sanctioned that statement, Mr. Bacon. I don't say I got.
But they said that.
Look.
Since they had the money. That's what they say.
Yeah, exactly.
So I want to have to miss the penalty today. That's why you
Thank you. There you go.
And I saw the woman on a Bronco. I saw the loafer Jesse.
Exactly.
The shorts with white boots and put black size over it.
But they probably brought your Zeke man and put him right near him. You didn't see his open and near the puppet. The puppet close him.
No, but
put the Zeke under your control.
We'll talk about that. This for my talking point tomorrow, the sports. Let me just put it all online, right? So I can't forget sports.
Next time we're not the president and going to demonstrate and watch it to the executive mansion. They shouldn't go on the feed there.
Exactly.
The finance minister there, the LRA there, the defense minister there. Other people there, you guys there. Other people.
But anyway,
LRA, not Central Bank, they all over.
Thank you.
Mr. Bacon, they all over.
That's it. Huh? No, seriously, it's a serious observation. That's my observation anyway.
That's a good observation, though.
That's a good observation.
That's a good observation.
Yeah. We got to make it a genuine competition. You know?
Anything anything can happen.
No, it's time for all to start doing this thing, man. I mean, we're too old for that.
Well, you already turned the monkey range to the plate. Then you say this, that. Mr. Bacon, you
had this money I read. Edwin Snow said he had a dream.
We will go much deeper into Mr. Bacon's statement here tonight, but we're going to give you a complete.
No, I wrote it down. I wrote it down already. The school issue tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'll wait for you. I'll wait for your show.
I will depend on
let's say the mathematician. Let him bring out the number and can't crunch the number tomorrow. We'll talk about it.
You're not going to Liberal, you're not going to get anything out of Liberal. Jerry Bacon says sick and tired with the Liberal now because the Liberal defense, they're indefensible. So he said, I'm
the co-host. You want for them to fire me?
You are not yet a man replace you. I told you that man not correct. That paper there, you not Liberal not correct comment to you.
All right, good night, guys.
All right, good night, boy.
All right, good night.
Okay, guys. Okay, well, folks, that does it this evening. I'm Francis Z and Salt of the Liberal Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to thank you. If you are visiting with us for the first time, we say it's good to have you here. Your comments, your tweets, always leave your suggestions as to how we can enhance our conversation here. Sometimes, we have to poke in a little bit from much of politics was in discuss here tonight because for the past weeks and months, the National Sport Meet has been one of the dominant things, and it was climaxed today, as you know, Lo-Fi with a big win. I think they also deserve that, having gone for final twice. There is some sort of tension there too. Hey, we went for the first time, the whip, or they went for the second time, the whip or tear. Should we get another defeat? That is a low in itself. On the other side, my own counted Grand there. When's the last time? Did it 1980 something, 89? And so that was a heavy low. So you follow the two teams, kind of like it was challenging. But I think the guy who kicked our penalty today, I thought he would have done better. I hold the technical teams, they're going to work on these things. Then they must have a strategic plan going into competition, because the probability of end game ending in penalty kicks, you need to have trained people, you need to have then things categories, priority number one, number two, in such a consequential match. You need to put forward the best who's going to take that cake. I mean, nothing is guaranteed, but this is why you're going to train towards it. But I think it was sort of hasty. He saw the keyboards kind of leaning to the side, and he did not take a tactical position to twist and to make a quick change. That didn't happen. It just went right into the keyboard. I think if that equalizer come to play, that would have momentum should have shifted on Grange's side, but that did not happen. And this is where get us to be where we are. But I think all of the team did well. Lofa deserved it after losing it twice to get it back as a good thing as well. Overall, the tournament this year, I would say for the most part, what I saw, I think it was peaceful, not much violence. And so I think it's good. And I hope organizer will take into consideration safety of people. You can sell more than what you can sell there's a stadium there. It has a specific capacity. There's a specific weight that needs to go on it. You can't have it when it's 20, 25,000. You can't go sell over 50,000 tickets. Obviously, when people pay for something, they must utilize it. They don't care the danger. This is why you people have the expertise. You want to make sure the safety of the people that wasn't taken care of. And I hope there will be a lesson learned. You can't just sell and sell. And I was talking to somebody, I said, oh, but sometimes they post a ticket, they get a ticket, even though they outsource it for a company to do it. But now people are so skillful, criminally minded. One person buy a ticket, they take it to other places to do all sort of thing, and duplicate it, it looks like same, and people go in with it. All of these things are factor. We all must have a shared responsibility as a citizen of a country to do what is right. It's just not only with government. We are corrupt. 2-3% put together to do something. One person wants to be the smarter one, and you want to dupe your friends. These are all behaviors that we start, we grow with it, we cross over with it, and we bring them into private and government. So these are gradual things that we downplay. You don't necessarily have to be in government to be corrupt and be dishonest. The dishonesty starts from what we do. And then that's reached the national government. And that is so bad, bad, bad. Well, folks, we want to thank you so much. It was good having you here this evening, as always. And in subsequent broadcasts, the Liberal are going to be here tomorrow. The most ridiculous man on this network, the Liberal Progressive, he will be here tomorrow. Come, and you're going to hear the worst tap attack ever. But like the saying goes, there's no bad bush for a child. We keep them here, we make them, we compel them to transform their ideologies, those wrong concepts that they want to build in the minds of the people. And that's part of the responsibility of media. Media, we are not against, we are not for, neither are we are not a resistant group, but it stands in a gap to also enhance governments and the message of the people, and we intend to do that from time to time. Until then, I am Francis and so have a pleasant evening. Next Sunday, another edition of the Examiner will come your way right here on the Diaspora Informative News outlet. I did see it, legendary Jerome Charlie here. Thank you so much for chipping in this evening and for being here. Those are the voices of the media. Lpr-Tv. Thank you so much for chipping in. Have a pleasant evening. We say congratulations to Lofa County for their big win today. Until then, I will catch you when I see you. Bye-bye.